Tonight, the Murphy Panthers are trying to right their own ship and get back on track toward a successful season. But across the field awaits the Fairhope Pirates, looking to do what Pirates do: pillage, blunder, and destroy their opponents. The Panthers are on a 5-game losing streak started by these pesky Pirates last October. Can Murphy band together and hold back Fairhope to pick up their first win of the year? We're going to find out next. Week 3 action of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week starts now. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Corey LeBounty in the broadcast booth. Down on the field we have Kimberly Dunn. And Corey, if Murphy ever needed a win, it's tonight.
No doubt about it, Al. When you look at this situation for the Murphy Panthers, coming in at 0-2 overall, they played a tough McGill team last week. In the game, final score was 30-3, but the score wasn't indicative of how close it really was.
Right.
But the Murphy Panthers are scratching and clawing. They're hungry tonight. They're coming in averaging only 5 points per game. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But it will be a huge win for this Murphy program team if they're able to get one tonight.
Speaking of the Panthers, let's get directly to your checklist. What's on Corey's checklist tonight for Murphy?
They must produce pigskin points. They're averaging 5 points per game through 2 games. And Coach Muskegum Barnes wants to see them have production with that pigskin crossing the goal line. Also, they want to prevent Panther penalties. If they're able to do that, it will help them be able to produce positive yardage. They don't want to get behind the sticks at 1st and 15 or 1st and 20 yards to go. They want to sink the captain of the pirate ship tonight. That's going to be quarterback Devin Mitchell. It's going to be a hard task for the Murphy Panthers, but if they're able to keep the captain of the ship in check and not let him extend plays, they should be in a good situation.
All right, Fairhope is the visiting team tonight across the field. What's on your checklist for them tonight, Corey?
They have to weather the storm. Everyone's been affected by this tropical storm Gordon that came along the Gulf Coast, and it made a short practice week for both of these programs in Mobile and Baldwin County, but they're going to have to find a way mentally to get through that. They're going to have to take care of the football and not have a lot of turnovers tonight, and also they're going to have to pounce on the Panthers, make sure they wrap up the ball carriers on that first strike.
Appreciate the checklist tonight, Corey. It is absolutely a night we were kind of anticipating that we have some great weather, but you know what? The rain has crept back in and kind of got us off guard here, but you know what? We still have action going on. Keep in mind, we've seen some lightning dancing earlier, but we have not been delayed by our officials, so there's no lightning right now. So it may be raining. They're still going to allow the kids to play. There's your weather forecast: 78 degrees, scattered thunderstorms possibly in the forecast tonight, 85% chance of rain, as you can see, with winds out of the east-southeast at 4 miles per hour. Murphy back to receive. Kicking for Fairhope will be Sam Rayburn, and back to receive for the Panthers you have Braylon Manley, also Garrett Hamilton and Darnell Thomas. They line up 2 or 3 guys back there to receive our kickoff. So we're moments away from Thursday night action tonight, Corey, for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Got to be excited. Kickoff is coming right at you.
Deep kick by Rayburn goes into the end zone, so that'll be a touchback, and the Panthers will take over on offense.
On offense, it's going to be led by Chris Moffitt. Chris Moffitt's taking his quarterback helm situation. It's going to be important for him to get established early. He has 15 rushes for 85 yards so far in the season, only 2 out of 9 passing now.
Wow, across that front line, the Panthers averaging 281, a lot of meat on that bone. Keep your eye out for center Jalen Randall, number 79, 6 feet, 310 pounds of beef, Corey, clogging up the middle right there for the Panthers. Chris Moffitt, your quarterback. We'll get to our impact players shortly. Here's the first play of the ball game. Direct snap to Manley, and he's around the edge to the numbers, picking up a couple of yards, maybe 4 or 5. Let's take a look at the Pirates defense. Fairhope coming in tonight 1-1 with their record. We get a chance, we'll get their defenses line up right there, averaging 236 across the front. They play a 4-3, and keep your eye out for number 62 nose guard Aspen Pitt, 6 feet, 273 senior. A lot of seniors right there on the Fairhope Pirate defense. Second down for the Panthers, about 4. That's a high snap over Manley's head, and that's a live ball. Corey, it is picked up by Fairhope prancing into the end zone, E.J. Burrell, outside linebacker, and the Fairhope Pirates on the board at 11:20. Oh, my goodness.
One of those turnovers that the Panthers needed to stay away from. Linebacker E.J. Burrell, 5'10", 165-pound junior, is able to scoop and score for the Fairhope Pirates. He had one solo tackle and one tackle for loss on the season, but now you can add 6 on his resume defensively.
Rayburn back for the PAT here. Officials coming in to take a look at some things first. Kick is up for Rayburn, and it is good. So Fairhope on top 7-0. Corey, we can barely get our papers shuffled, and we have a score. So we're going to get a moment to get our impact players up right now. Who are your impact players for the Panthers tonight?
Murphy Panthers, you're really looking at Chris Moffitt, the quarterback that you just saw led the Panthers, and also defensive lineman Kendall Adams-Young. It's going to be very important that he has a big impact defensively and keep the Pirates off of the scoreboard tonight.
All right, let's flip it over and take a look. Who do we have for Fairhope of our impact players for tonight?
Fairhope, you're going to have the dynamic quarterback Devin Mitchell. Again, he's the captain of this Fairhope Pirate ship, and also tailback / running back DeMel Bell. He has great vision, folks, so if he turns it up north and south, he's looking to always score the pigskin.
All right, back to receive once again for the Panthers. We have Anthony Breland Manley and also Garrett Hamilton, and Rayburn handles all the kicking duties for the Pirates. Corey, as I just said, we're still getting our papers shuffled right here. 40 seconds into the ball game, we have our first score.
Yeah, that's the second week in a row that we've seen a quick score. Last week, Theodore was able to score against Baker in less than 2 minutes and 8 seconds, and here it is, we're less than 30 seconds in, and the Pirates are able to put 6 or 7 on the board.
Rayburn booms that one outside of the end zone, so it's another touchback for the Panthers. We were just getting set up with their starting lineup and kind of talking about Murphy, and they're in the hole right now, 7-0. What do you think Coach Muskegum Barnes is talking to his offense about right now?
Offensive coordinator Leslie Nobles is just telling his team to settle down, play the next play. You have to put that turnover behind you. You don't want to dwell on it. They were able to pick up positive yards on first down, so as long as there's a good snap, that snap came from center Jalen Randall. He's 6 foot, 310-pound senior, but that's one of those things that you definitely want to make sure that you keep clean tonight.
Yeah, that formation looked like they were kind of doing somewhat of a wildcat direct snap to Manley, and ball just a bit too high. Right now, a little RPO action, and Moffitt keeps it, picks up maybe 1 or 2, gets the ball up to about the 21-yard line for the Panthers.
Good tackle on the play by number 26, Dale Hagan. He comes from his defensive end position, 6'1", 190-pound senior. This defense is led by defensive coordinator Avery Warner. He's in his 8th year with Coach Tim Carter, came with him from Auburn High School and joined him on this Fairhope Pirate squad.
Feels not very soggy, and Corey, as we look, here's a rainbow appearing above Lab People Stadium. Maybe there may be a pot of gold for one of these teams awaiting at the end of the night tonight. Manley around the edge picks up maybe 1. They may give him 2. Takes the Panthers the 3rd down. There are slight drizzles here at Ladd Stadium. It's not a very heavy rainfall, just kind of one of those irritating rains, if you want to call it.
Field safety Braxton Jordan, the 5'10", 161-pound junior, makes the stop on the play. If Breland Manley's able to turn that right corner, he's going to get that first down. But the good thing is he got positive yards.
Beautiful shot of the rainbow there from our production crew. The guys and girls always doing a fine job here for us at MCPSS TV Network.
Pirates gold is what John Vella tells me. I like that analogy right there by our statistician for the night.
3rd and long here for Murphy. Bot snap right there. All Moffitt can do is really fall on it and make sure that Murphy does not turn it over. So their first 2 series not productive at all. And on will come the punting squad, handling punting duties for Murphy tonight, Darnell Thomas.
And both of them come off of bad snaps. You almost had another turnover, but if it's a clean snap from center to quarterback, you give your quarterback an opportunity to scramble out and extend the play a little bit, but when that ball hits the turf, there's nothing he can do but scoop it up and hope that it's not another fumble.
You're right about that. Back to receive, Romaine Bradley for the Pirates. Very short punt from Murphy. Ball did not make it past the midfield stripe, right at about the 49.5-yard line. So Fairhope will get great possession technically on their first possession of the ball game, even though they're up 7-0.
Going to down it right at the 50-yard line, all the Pirates, and it's going to be a situation now. Their quarterback comes out, Devin Mitchell, folks. He's 5'9", 173-pound senior. He's electric with his feet. If he gets outside of that pocket, you can look for great things to happen.
Mitchell decides to keep it. Kind of running around in circles there, Corey, with nowhere to go. So he is brought down at about the 49-yard line of Murphy. Let's take a look at the Fairhope Pirates starting lineup. You just talked about Devin Mitchell, senior quarterback, 5'9", 175. Also be on the lookout for J.T. Turner, 5'11", 170. He's the leading receiver for the Pirates this season, averaging 260 across the front. So pretty substantial line, offensive line there, as they look to the sidelines to get the play called in. DeMel Bell split out to the side there, one of your impact players for the Pirates, with trips at the top. Mitchell looking to go to the air, and he does. Gets it out to Bradley. Picks up a couple yards. Let's take a look at the Murphy Panthers defense. They play a 3-4 across the front. They're averaging 242 across the line. Be on the lookout for Karan Marion, inside linebacker, 5'10", 210-pound junior, trying to fill up the middle tonight for the Panthers.
Here comes tempo on 3rd and 5. Offensive coordinator Duffy, his Pirate team averaging 31.5 points per game.
Mitchell decides to keep it, trying to sort his way through, Corey, and cannot, just logged up with Panthers everywhere. So the Murphy defense holds, and we're possibly looking at a punt here from Fairhope.
You're in a situation to where you're right outside of the 40-yard line. As a matter of fact, the ball is going to be spotted right at the 44-yard line of the Panthers, and because of it, you have a choice you can make. You decide to punt this ball, you can pin them deep in their own territory, whereas if you go for it, you're creating a little bit of a shorter field.
Yeah, kind of in no man's land, so we'll see what they're going to do. It looks like they are going to punt it. Rayburn is running out right now to punt for Fairhope.
And this is a young man who does the field goals, extra points, and punting duties. He's a true specialist, so let's see if he's able to angle this ball. And really what they're trying to do maybe is get him to jump off sides with the funky formation.
First flag on the play. You didn't know if Fairhope was trying some trickeration or what, but we do have a flag on the play. So offsides against Murphy, and Corey, you're right. They tricked him and made him jump, and it is first down for Fairhope, ball at the 39-yard line.
One of those situations, again, the shifting in the formation created an opportunity where the Murphy Panthers jump, and if they're going to win this game, just like I said on my checklist, they have to prevent Panther penalties.
As I look at our officials tonight, Rick Johnson, Vincent Payton, Chip Mayhall, Derek Pettaway, Charles Doyle, DeJuan Jackson, and John Esposito, and there appears to be another penalty, possibly another offsides there.
Prior to the snap, encroachment, defense, 5 yards, replay first down.
So there's a free 5 for the Panthers right there.
And you add that on top of the last 5, so it's a free 10.
Yeah, you're right, back to back, so free 10, yeah.
Defense, they really need to step up right here and just be disciplined. You can't go for the hard snap count. You have to really watch the football and not go on the hut.
And you don't want to get down early here. Mitchell gets it out to Bradley. He picks up a couple of yards close to the first down stick. And Corey, I see another flag.
Maybe possibly a hold, depending on where that was thrown, right here on the outside numbers close to Murphy's sideline. The officials might have got the outside wide receiver for the hold, but let's see what they're going to talk about it and see how they're going to mark it.
That appears to be the area, so that is a hold against Fairhope, so that will take them back, and we'll have a replay of first down. Officials getting their work in early tonight, Corey.
Yeah, it's one of those situations
On
to
the
where
offense, 10 yards from spot of the foul. Replay first down.
we're already in week number 3, so the biggest improvement should be from week 1 to week 2. It's something that neither coach is going to be happy about. You have Murphy getting called for back-to-back penalties, and then you turn around and Fairhope has a holding on a nice catch and throw.
So it's 1st and 10 for Fairhope, if you want to call it. It's where the ball originally, was on 4th down, and Murphy was offsides. Bradley with the end around, and he's close to picking up the 1st down, maybe 8 or 9 yards on that carry.
Nice play right there by the Fairhope Pirates, and the Panther defense was able to string it out. But what you like to see is DeMel Bell, my impact player for the game. He's a running back, tailback / wide receiver, and Fairhope's definitely going tempo to catch this Panther team tired.
Yeah, he's Mr. Everything for the Pirates, leading rusher and the 2nd leading receiver on the team. You see him right there next to Devin Mitchell. 6:10 remaining here in the 1st quarter. Remember, we do have heat timeouts. That'll come at the first dead ball under 6 minutes. We just talked about him. Bell to the outside, to the near side right here. At about the 23-yard line, they're going to mark him. That's a 1st down, and the chains will move.
Tackled by number 21, Braxton Turk, the 5'9", 175-pound corner on the play. Anytime you have your corners and you make it to that 2nd level, you know the Pirate offensive line is getting a hat on a hat out there.
Mitchell decides to keep it. Stretching outside, trying to stretch the play, and gets nowhere, maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
That's one of the things that he has the ability to do, is try to extend the play, and on that play he just rolled out. Great defense by the Panthers secondary, as no wide receivers were open. He just had to pull it down and try to get some positive yardage.
Looks like some of the Murphy kids right there, Corey, dressing for spring break here in the the late summer. But we have a couple showers. They have on all the Hawaiian or the luau shirts tonight. And we have our first heat timeout, 5:43 remaining here in the 1st quarter. So, Corey, your assessment right quick, what have you seen so far?
I think one of the things that is interesting now is we did have that light mist come in prior to the game. Even though we're on the field turf, it seems that guys are slipping a little bit. And so far, it's been a penalty fest the first 6 minutes of the contest, as Murphy turned the ball over on that high snap and the scoop and score by the Pirates. But also, I think what you have to do is, if you're Murphy, you just really need to dig in and have discipline offensively and defensively, because there's no need to jump off sides. You know where you're supposed to be. You know what the snap count is.
Right.
And as long as you keep yourself disciplined, you're not giving away those free yardage. We don't need to see that for either team as the game progresses.
If you could ever say a timeout was needed right there, Coach Barnes and the Murphy Panthers needed it, Corey, with Fairhope kind of driving right here to get down. It's almost like a freebie timeout, because it's not really too hot or too humid tonight. Mitchell tosses it out to Bell. Crackback block right there by the Pirates, and Corey, you know what that flag's going to be for.
Yeah, it's a nice swing pass out of the backfield, completed to Bell, but anytime there's a safety issue with the side judge being right on top of it, he was able to throw the yellow flag, and it will be a crackback illegal block called against the Pirates.
You can see that one right there from a sideline camera right near the 20-yard line as they discuss this, referee Rick Johnson. So the penalty fest continues right now at 5:28 remaining in the 1st quarter.
Personal foul, blindside block on the offense. 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, 2nd down.
So that has set up 2nd and a very, very long for Fairhope right now.
And we just mentioned it as we came on the camera about cleaning up the penalties by both teams. And here it is, Fairhope gets called for a holding as well as a crackback block. And Murphy got called for the 2 encroachment penalties. So both teams are going to have to really clean it up as we progress.
Drop snap by Mitchell, rolling out, trying to connect with someone, and cannot, incomplete, as he tried to get that ball out to Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, the 6'2", 175-pound sophomore, has 4 receptions for 63 yards on the season, but for some reason tonight, we've seen the center quarterback exchange be bobbled on both sides of the football.
Sure has. Very, very interesting. As we talked about earlier, not a heavy downpour, but maybe that little slickness on the pigskin is causing some problems. 3rd and 22 for the Pirates as they try to strike goal in the end zone, but they are a good bit away right now. Mitchell rolling back, tosses it out to Bradley. I'm sorry, that's Bell. No, check that. Clayton Snyder for the Pirates, and he gets a hunk of it back, but not enough, Corey.
And Clayton Snyder is the 5'9", 175-pound senior, came in with just 1 reception for -3 yards. That'll put him in the positive aspect of the season. But again, we talked about, is Fairhope in no man's land? I don't think they are, because they have an outstanding kicker in Sam Rayburn.
Rayburn lining up for a 38-yarder right here on the inside hash. He gets the kick up, and it is good. So Fairhope extends their lead 10-0 over Murphy at the 4:21 mark.
Nice field goal right there by Sam Rayburn.
Let's take it down to the sidelines. Have our first check-in with Kimberly Dunn.
Hey guys, I know that you can't see it that much, but it is coming down pretty good out here. Not terrible, but I do believe that it is causing a little bit of problems for both of these teams. I've seen several cleats slipping across this turf. I believe that the drops and the fumbles are because that ball is wet and they just need gloves on or something, to get a better grip on that ball. So the elements, even though they are not unbearable and not something that we can't deal with here in the South, it's definitely causing a little bit of a hindrance for both of these teams.
Thank you, Kimberly. You're right about that. We have been noticing that, Cora, but I must say last week, Future Ones came in handy with the non-wicking material, but tonight we're in the lush plush compounds of Lab People Stadium, so Future One is providing a little warmth for us because it's getting a little chilly up here in the booth.
Future Ones, wear the future, home of the interchangeable practice jerseys, thanks to Gus Smith and Trent Massey.
And once again, man, great job on the crew t-shirts. I love them. I need to get me one, just say I was on the crew too. So I like those shirts the crew is wearing. Rayburn booms another one. This one not into the end zone. So we'll get our first return from the Panthers. And up the middle runs Garrett Hamilton. Nice run back for the Panthers there, Corey. Maybe that could give them a little encouragement on this series.
Comes from the 6-yard line, and sometimes that's the shot and enthusiasm that you need to get things going in the right direction. And let's see if this offense can get it in gear. We've had a couple of high snaps that have not allowed them to get their timing down offensively. So if they're able to correct that, Jalen Randall snapping the ball to Chris Moffitt, they'll be fine.
10-0 right now, 4:13 remaining in the first quarter. You talked about it earlier, Corey. Murphy only averaging 5 points a game this season, and the defense giving up 26.5. So far, giving up 10 points at this point. Moffitt decides to keep that one and runs into a bunch of his teammates and a bounty of Pirates there to wrap him up, maybe a 2-3 yard gain.
One of those situations that the Pirates must wrap up, and in that particular play, they did a good job of making sure that the ball carrier didn't gain any additional yards. Going to bring up, looks like 2nd down and probably 6 yards to go.
2nd about 6, we'll go with that. Nice contingent came from over the bay tonight for Fairhope. And we see a few of the Murphy Panthers fans in the house tonight as well. But with skies kind of gloomy, maybe kept some folks at the house. Appears as if we have a timeout. Muskegon Barnes takes a timeout, so we're going to take a timeout and tell you that you can join the Mobile County Public School security team as they take an inside look at school safety and talk to law enforcement agencies to discuss the safety of your child while at school. That's Safe Schools right here on the MCPSS TV network. I'm Al Whedon, joined by Corey LeBounty. Down on the field doing all the duty is Kimberly Dunn taking in the showers, and we thank you for watching us tonight for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Fairhope on top of Murphy 10-0. And Corey, it's a Thursday night game, not a Friday for us.
And that's big. I mean, it's an opportunity for our second Thursday night broadcast of the season as we opened up with LaFleur and BC Reign.
Right.
But there's something about being the only game in town, the only high school game in town, especially at historic Glad People Stadium. Something special about Thursday night football also.
It is. So we're going to resume play now after the timeout. 2nd and about 6, we'll call it, for the Panthers. Moffitt and Manley in the backfield right there. Trips at the top. They fake the pass, fake the run and put it over the middle, and they connect with Jarrell Fletcher. That's enough for a first down and enough to get past the midfield stripe as well.
Jarrell Fletcher, the leading wide receiver for the Panthers, came in with 4 receptions for 65 yards. He's the 5'10", 162-pound senior. That's just a nice connect. The timing was right. The snap was right. If you look at the replay, a little play action, steps back and puts it right into the wide receiver's hands in stride.
Corey, I don't want to step in our substitute stat guy tonight, but I think that might be Murphy's first down.
It really is. You just have not created an opportunity to get the type of rhythm that you would like. But
right.
I know Leslie Nobles has things under control and is going to call a great game for the Panthers.
So 1st and 10 at the 3:04 mark. Good handoff to Manley right there, pretty clean as he pushes the pile himself, Corey. Keeps those legs turning. They may give him enough, and that is another first down for the Panthers back-to-back.
And Breland Manley has the ability and the strength at 5'7", 175 pounds. He leads this Panther team with 22 rushes for 110 yards. He's continued to add to that tonight. He's gotten positive yards pretty much on every handoff that he's received.
You always say it, keep the legs moving, keep that train chugging. You never know what the outcome's going to be. So that's a big first down right there by Manley. Another pitch out to Manley. He's got some room. Look at him ducking and dodging. Corey down at about the 21-yard line. Back-to-back runs for Breland Manley.
And it's just a matter of finding that offensive rhythm for the Panthers. If you don't have a good quarterback and center exchange, the timing is off for anything you want to run, whether that's routes or handing the ball off for that timed RPO offense. But that's 3 consecutive first downs in a row for the Murphy Panthers.
So Murphy on that 3rd possession seeming to get things together offensively. Maybe that timeout by Muskegon Barnes kind of gave him a little pep talk there and got him back on the right track. Manley once again with the handoff, trying to pick his way through the line, gets into the red zone, ball at about the 18-yard line. 2:32 remains here in the first quarter.
Getting positive yards, that's the most important thing. Garrison Childress, the 5'10", 215-pound senior will linebacker, making the stop.
We'll call it 2nd and 8 right here for the Panthers inside the red zone, looking to get on the board to cut into this lead Fairhope has at 10-0. And Manley met immediately at the line and wrapped up by Jerry Bethea.
Jerry Bethea, the 6'1", 275-pound sophomore, comes in with 5 solo tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 1 sack. Made sure he swallowed up the ball carrier on that one. It's going to bring up, looks like a 3rd down and 10 yards to go for the Panthers.
Yeah, Manley went backwards on that one, Corey, so 3rd and 10. Murphy trying to keep this drive alive as we approach 1 minute remaining here in the first quarter. Moffitt going over the top, does have a receiver and cannot connect with Christian Sellers. Had some room in the end zone. Sellers kind of went down to his knees, Corey. Maybe he didn't know exactly where he was on the field, but it seemed like he could have brought that one in.
Yeah, Christian Sellers, the 6', 180-pound senior, just looked over the wrong shoulder as Moffitt puts it in the only place that anybody could catch it, which is his wide receiver right in the left corner. It's one of those situations that if you're Sellers, you would love to have that catch and come away with that 6 points.
So decision time right now, and the Panthers are going to go for it rather than attempt the field goal. 4th and 10. Moffitt does connect, and that is a touchdown. But a flag on the play, late flag on the play. Looked like he got it to DeAndre Bailey.
and maybe an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty when he threw the ball up after he scored. But that was a great 22-yard strike as we look at Moffitt, steps back, has a clean pocket, and puts it on the money to DeAndre Bailey. The 6-foot, 170-pound senior scores his first touchdown of the season.
So we haven't received the call yet from referee Rick Johnson. They're sorting it out.
That's right what the Panthers needed, though. They needed to produce points, and they were able to get 3 or 4 consecutive first downs, and that drive started on their deep end of the field, and they were able to sustain it and do a good job of just having a balance of throwing and running the football.
You're right about that. Here comes referee Rick Johnson with the call.
We have a touchdown, dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the offense, and forced on the kick.
That was an 8-play, 70-yard drive put together by the Murphy Panthers, and we saw them in their first couple of possessions get positive yards on first and second down, but not be able to do anything because of the high snaps. They got that corrected on the sidelines, and they had that drive and played that drive with a lot of confidence.
So instead of Peyton Archer with the PAT, it's Darnell Thomas on to kick for the Panthers. Low snap, and that ball is blocked at the line. So Murphy gets the score. Fairhope on top, 10-6. Don't move. We'll be back with more action. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Murphy inches a little closer with that 22-yard touchdown pass from Moffitt to Bailey. The score is 10-6. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Coralie Bounty. Down on the sidelines, roughing it out, it's our girl Kimberly Dunn. We'll check back in with her later on. 1 minute, 7 seconds remains here in the first quarter. Corey, nice drive put together by the Panthers right there to get on the board.
Exactly what the Murphy Panther offense needed, because it allowed the defense to get a little bit of a rest also. And not only did it allow them to rest, you're able to put points on the board more importantly. Now that missed point after may come back to haunt the Murphy Panthers later on and sometime down this game, but for now they're happy with the 6.
Roman Bradley with the kickoff return for Fairhope past the midfield stripe and into Panther territory at the 45-yard line. So somewhat intermediate kick by Thomas there, but a great return by Roman Bradley.
And that's what the Fairhope Pirates needed, because you just had and just gave up a score. So how do you want to answer that? You want to get a little momentum on special teams. Well, you now put your offense in a good situation without the penalties on this particular possession for the Pirates. If it's anything like their first possession, they should be fine.
First and 10 ball at the 45. Jamel Bell in the backfield. Hand off to Bell. Almost wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage, and the Panthers can't tackle him, and he's on the run, Corey. Brought down at about the 25, 24-yard line. Bell picks up the first down. He's the leading rusher for the Pirates this season.
He's 205, and you're not going to be able to arm tackle him. As you look at Bell hit the hole, as soon as he gets past the line of scrimmage, he's able to keep his balance, and that's important. And it just starts shedding tacklers. You're not going to be able to tackle him up high. You're going to have to grab him by his legs to get him down.
Michael Colclacier with that run right there picks up maybe 4 or 5 for the Pirates. Corey, on the replay, you can see a lot of flagging going on, not wrapping Bell up, and he just escapes and keeps going.
And the Pirates now are going tempo again to try to get this Panther team off balance and out of position.
Back to Colclacier, and look at him, Corey. He's into the red zone, down to the 3 or 4, and the Pirates are on the move.
Colclacier, the 5'8", 171-pound senior running back, came in with over 118 yards rushing on the season, make that his 11th rush of the season, and now the Pirates are in business in the red zone.
Hopefully Bell's okay. We haven't seen him since he had that long run. Have a stoppage in play right here. Don't see a flag down on the field. Maybe a timeout has been called. I'm sorry, that's the end of end of the first quarter, Corey. So Fairhope tried to get that play off before the end of the first quarter. You can see the tempo there from Tim Carter and the crew. So that wraps up 1 quarter of action right here. So far, been quite an interesting contest with the Pirates and the Panthers tonight. The last time Murphy started a season at 0-2 was back in 2003 when they started off losing to Baldwin County and Davidson. So as we talked about it at the top of the broadcast, a lot on the line for the Panthers tonight. This is the region game. They lost to McGill last week. So you don't want to go down in the region 0-2 at the start of the season.
Right here, the Murphy Panthers have to make sure that they really bow up defensively, because you don't want to turn around again. You just went down and scored offensively, put 6 points on the board. You know points have been a premium so far through 2 games for the Panthers. You just want to make sure, if you're the Panther defense, that you don't do anything silly to make this goal line situation even easier for the Pirates.
Had a chance to speak with Fairhope coach Tim Carter before the ball game. I asked him about that first loss to Wetumpka at the top of the year. Wetumpka, a team that made it to the 6A championship game last year and lost to Pinson Valley. He said, Al, we were only down 14-6 in the third quarter. We had opportunity to punch it into the end zone. 1st and 5, we had our offsides. We go back 5 yards. The next play, we throw a pick 6 and we're down. So he understands being in situations. We noticed them kicking the field goal. They had opportunity to get a touchdown, but they kept going backwards and backwards. So hopefully they'll clean it up for the Pirates.
Tim Carter lost 5 players in that Wetumpka game, which was huge, because he lost 2 starting linebackers for the season. So depth is definitely a factor. But right here now, the Pirates are taking over in great field position.
Ball at the 3-yard line. Bell back in the ball game, so that break maybe brought him back in. Corey, he's weaving his way, trying to get forward, and pushed back by a stingy Panthers defense.
Good job of digging in by Karan Marion, the middle linebacker that you mentioned at the top of the show. 5'10", 210-pound junior, comes in with 18 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, and is able to hold the Pirates there to no gain.
2nd and goal for Fairhope. We'll say the ball spotted still about the 3-yard line, so they gave him credit for forward progress. Little bunch formation right here for the Pirates, and there's some movement on the end. That'll punch him back 5 yards, Corey. We just talked about playing smart and being mentally into it for Fairhope.
One of those situations to where both teams will play with penalties in the first quarter.
Ball start on the offense. 5 yards. Replay 2nd down.
So 2nd and goal. Fairhope pushed back a bit more as they're trying to get into the end zone right now. Appears as if the rain has possibly let up, Corey.
That's a situation that I know the players have to be happy, but it gives Fairhope a little bit more room to operate now.
No bunch formation right here as the Pirates look back to the line to get the call. Play clock approaching 10 seconds. Mitchell rolling out. He's got a man, overthrows Bradley. Bradley probably could have walked that one into the end zone to get a score, and that'll take Fairhope to 3rd down.
That's a throw that Devin Mitchell definitely would like to have back. As we look at the instant replay, and Devin Mitchell rolls out to his left, tries to throw across his body and throws a little bit too high for the wide receiver, Ramon Bradley. Bradley's listed at 5'8". Had he been 5'10", that would have been 6 points, but we do have an injury on the field.
Do have a player, I believe it's a Murphy player. Can't see right here to get a number.
Looks like it may be Kendall Adams.
It does, 95 right there. Kendall Adams Young on the turf, being looked at by the trainers.
And he comes in at his nose tackle position, 6 foot, 260 pounds, leading this Panther team with 14 tackles. So the Panthers definitely don't want to be without him for very long at all.
One of your impact players tonight. He's definitely having an impact for the Panthers this season as well. So hopefully he'll be able to get up on his own strength. We'll be back in 1 moment with more action for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
October is Parent and Family Engagement Month, and Mobile County Public Schools is sending out an invitation to you. Join us Monday, October 15th at your child's school, and you can pick up report cards as you meet and greet your child's teacher. There will also be parenting workshops to provide resources and materials for students' success. Families, communities, and schools work together, students succeed. So mark your calendar, October 15th, for our Parent and Family Engagement Day.
To find out what's happening in Mobile County Public Schools, from school news to weather alerts, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or our website, mcpssthewire.com. All right, Corey, back to action right here. 3rd and goal for the Pirates. Mitchell trying to find someone. He's going to have to unload it, and does. Connects with DeMel Bell in the end zone. He waited, and hooked up for a touchdown for Fairhope.
And DeMel Bell, he's just as dangerous as a wide receiver. You look at it, he comes in with 6 receptions for 130 yards and 1 touchdown. Make that 7 receptions now for 2 touchdowns on the season. As you look at Devin Mitchell being able to extend the play with his feet, gets outside of that pocket, rolls out, and finds his dynamic tailback / wide receiver for 6 more for the Pirates.
Rayborn on for the PAT. Kick is up, and it is good. And Fairhope extends their lead 17-6. Don't move, more action's headed your way. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I believe my child probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County system is excellent. For me and my child, I'm going to stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Fairhope on top of Murphy, 17-6. Corey, Fairhope enters tonight averaging 31.5 points a game, only in giving up 27.5, and they're halfway to their average right now. Let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in once again with Kimberly Dunn.
I have an update on that injury that we had earlier, and it was actually number 35 who ended up limping off the field with a knee injury. But they looked at his knee. Everything seems to be good now because he's running up and down the sidelines, and we will be able to see some more action from him tonight.
I appreciate that, Kimberly. Corey, you and I both need to go get our eyes checked, and we're wearing glasses right now.
It was Karan Marion instead of Kenan Adams Young, and I saw the 5, but the 9 and the 3 deceived me.
It's okay. I got you, brother. I'm right here with you. All 4 eyes. I missed it as well. So
both of us, brother.
It looked as if he did come off the field on his own power, so we'll probably see Manuel back again. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Ball's going to be placed right here at the 20-yard line. 10:49 remaining in the first half. And you can pretty much say first half kind of dominated by the Pirates so far.
Yeah, you take away that scoop and score that was early in the first quarter, really the first 30 seconds of the game, and you have a much closer contest. But now that the Panthers were able to put 6 on the board, it's going to be important that they put another drive together, as their last drive was an 8-play, 70-yard drive. To get 6 here, it'll have to be 80.
Moffitt trying to salvage something, does pick up a couple yards, maybe 4. They may be generous and give him 5 on that with some extra forward progress, as I like to say. So 2nd and 5 coming up for Murphy.
Tackled by a host of Pirates, but the good thing for the Panthers is that you get positive yards on first down, because that changes the play calling of offensive coordinator Leslie Nobles tremendously. Because if you're dealing with 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10, even though Chris Moffitt was able to complete some passes early in the last drive, the running game is really a strength of this Panther team, especially around the boundary area.
Panthers handing off, trying to get up the middle to Various Jackson with the run, maybe 2 or 3. He is short of the first down marker, but they're still moving positive, Corey, so it'll be 3rd and short for Murphy.
Good push by right guard Jordan Valerie, the 6'1", 275-pound senior, going to create a 3rd down and 2 yards to go for the Panthers.
Moffitt in the backfield along with Jackson as well, awaiting the snap. They're going to hand it back to Jackson. He's weaving his way, fighting to get to the first down marker. Corey, I think he's going to be about a yard short.
Tavarius Jackson's going to be 1 yard short, the 5'8", 170-pound senior, and it looks like the Panthers are going to decide to bring on their punting unit because they know how valuable field position is. That's going to be punter Darnell Thomas coming onto the field for the Murphy Panthers.
Back to receive for Fairhope, Romaine Bradley. We've called his name a few times tonight. Next to DeMel Bell, he has touched the pigskin a pretty good amount. He's setting up right about his own 40-yard line. Thomas gets the punt off. Nice punt by Thomas. And Bradley's going to let that one just roll. And the Panthers have flipped the field. Maybe the ball down at about the 17 or 16-yard line. Got a break right here. Let's take a look at some of the scores coming in from last week. Some of the action here. MCPSS high schools involved. Fairhope got the win over MGM 49-21. Davidson over Bryant 32-21. As we talked about earlier, the battle of the cannon. McGill still holding on to that. Saraland all over Rain 50-0. Blunt picks up the big win right there, 31-7 over Robertsdale. That being a region game. Theodore, we had that game last week, Corey. Baker came out a little flat there, 24-0. Williamson all over the floor. That's a 4A, 5A battle, and Citronelle gets a win up at Leroy, 34-7. So look at your MCPSS high school scoreboard. First and 10 for the Pirates. Hand off to Koklischer. He gets 6 or 7 and tumbles for maybe 8 or 9, Corey. Let's see whether they'll spot this. They may give him the first down.
Cole Clazier, Michael Cole Clazier, that is, the 5'8", 171-pound senior, able to rumble right to the sticks.
So second and short here for the Pirates. Cole Clazier in the backfield right there with Devin Mitchell. Good shot of Mitchell right there. 5'9", 175 senior. Appears as if Corey's trying to get the Panthers to jump off with the fake call there, fake snap.
Yeah, we saw them early in the game jump off sides and give the Pirates 2 5-yard penalties.
Cole Clazier up the middle. That's going to be enough for the first down as he stretches it to about the 32, 33-yard line.
Again, positive yards on an early down situation for the Fairhope Pirates. This Panther defensive line is trying to replace 9 out of 11 defensive starters from a year ago. So a lot of new names being called. Just need to play assignment-based football. DeMel
Bell not in the ball game as we noticed. And Mitchell decides to keep this one on the RPO. And Corey, look at him weaving. Looks like Pac-Man on the screen. He picks up a first down.
Yeah, Devin Mitchell again. He's dynamic with his feet. And there's an injured Panther down. I know for a fact Timothy Sanders went down, and Sanders is number 1. He came from his outside linebacker position. Looks like there's going to be a flag on the play also.
Block in the back, so this one will be coming back, but 2 Panthers are down.
Looks like it's going to be an ankle injury for Timothy Sanders.
So Sanders coming off the field on his own power, somewhat limping there, maybe an ankle injury. And Tim King. So the 2 Tims go down for the Panthers, Corey. They're both coming off of their own power. But both seniors, so some senior leadership not on the line for the Panthers right now.
Yeah, I mean, what Coach Muskegon Barnes wants to do, this defense is being led by defensive coordinator John Lambert. And John Lambert knows that in order for his team to be successful, they have to try to limit teams to maybe 2 yards per play or less. And they don't care how they have to do that, Al. If it's in penalty situations, that's what they want.
On the offense, 10 yards from spot of the foul, replay second down.
So that'll push the Panthers back, and we'll replay second down after picking up that first down. So that'll push them back, Corey. I'm sorry, not picking up the first down. So it'll be second and about 9, maybe a long 9 here. Lad's going to call a second and 9, so I agree with them tonight. Toss out to Bryson Martin as he tries to get back to the line of scrimmage on that play.
And now it's going to bring up maybe a third down and close to 10 yards to go for the Fairhope Pirates. They're trying to go tempo, and hopefully to get the Panthers to jump offside. But if the Panthers stay home, they ought to be in a good situation with 6:30 remaining here in the second quarter.
Play clock down to 10 seconds. Mitchell just pretty much letting that clock run down. Try and connect, does have a guy over the middle, and he does connect with Riley Leonard on the move. Corey, he's taking it to the house for a touchdown. Fairhope, no flags on the play. That appears to be a 63-yarder for Devin Mitchell to Riley Leonard.
Riley Leonard, 6'2", 175-pound sophomore from his wide receiver position, just races and streaks across the sidelines, and it's a foot race, and he did win that foot race against the Murphy Panther defense as Javante Carter, the 6'1", 165-pound sophomore cornerback, tried to catch him but was not able to. But more importantly, folks, that was 3rd down and 10 yards to go for the Fairhope Pirates. Not only did they pick up the first down, they picked up a touchdown.
Rayborn on with the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good. So Fairhope extends the lead 24-6 over Murphy. We'll be back, and we'll have a special guest with us. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
The Environmental Studies Center is a natural sciences education facility designed to provide unique learning experiences. In addition, wildlife rehabilitation plays a vital role each day at the center. Featuring more than 500 acres of rich woodlands, the center affords teachers, students, and the general public an opportunity to experience firsthand the natural environment. Environmental Studies Center. It starts with us in the Mobile County Public Schools.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. I'm Al Wheaton, joined by Coralie Bounty. Kimberly Dunn down on the sidelines. Fairhope in control right now, 24-6 over Murphy. And we have a special guest who has decided to stop by and visit with us. We're about 6:02 remaining here in the second half, so we're going to have a heat timeout coming up shortly. But we want to introduce to you right here, first time on the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, the new superintendent for the Mobile County Public School System, Mr. Cressel Threadgill. How you doing this evening?
I am doing wonderful. What about you?
I am doing great. We're inside here, the confines of Lad Peoples Stadium. It's a little wet outside, but Corey and I are not getting wet. But want the Panthers to do a little better, so maybe getting you in, we can boost them up a bit there.
Well, as soon as I came in, I have on my Murphy yellow and blue, and as soon as I came in, they scored. So I guess I'm good. I'm good luck for the Panthers.
I like that. I like that. So, Superintendent Threadgill, you've been on the job a couple months now, officially as the superintendent of the school system. What are some things you're seeing or learning, or you want to convey to the listeners and viewers out tonight about the Mobile County Public School System?
Right. We have wonderful employees, faculty, and staff. We have pockets of excellence, and we have a lot of great things going on, and I'm just proud to be a part of this system.
Well, we are glad to have you here. We typically always get the superintendent one of those first 2 games of the season. I was bugging my executive producer. We got to get Mr. Threadgill on. He said, don't worry, Al. He's coming. Actually, you're a surprise for me tonight. My first time meeting you. I've learned great things about you, reading online and seeing what you've done for the school system so far, even in the role you had before now.
Absolutely.
As we move forward, what are some of the things you want to implement, or let's say take the school system to the next level? What do you have in mind?
Right. Well, I'm not the type to settle for average.
Gotcha.
I'm not the type to settle to be the status quo. I want to be transcending. I want to take it to the next level.
Right.
But there are some priorities that we're going to have, and it's going to be finances.
Okay.
It's going to be personnel, getting the right people in the right spots, and also building relationships. That's going to be key.
Okay. Now tell me about the 110% you're challenging the employees.
Absolutely. Basically what I just said, that I'm not going to settle for average.
Okay.
I want every faculty and staff to give the kids of Mobile County Public Schools 110% every day, because they deserve it.
Got you. We're talking with Superintendent Threadgill of the Mobile County Public School System. He's a familiar face to a lot of people in the area, but maybe the first time here on the football telecast. So we enjoy you having that. But speaking of sports, tell the viewers a little bit about your sports background as a high schooler and college as well.
Right. I am a graduate, 93 graduate of John L. LaFleur. While I was at LaFleur, I participated in basketball. I was a Shellwood Shocker.
All right. Okay.
I also ran track. Ran a little professional track, and I also ran at Troy University.
Okay. So you understand the importance of academics, but also having some extracurricular and athletics to kind of balance things out as well.
Absolutely. It teaches you priorities. It teaches you to be disciplined. Having being a student athlete, you have several challenges, and you have to overcome some of those challenges. So it really benefited me to be an athlete.
I got you. Well, I appreciate you taking our time. A little gloomy night, but you brought some sunshine. You got your bow tie. And as I would tell former Superintendent Martha Peak, anytime you want to stop by, just come on by. We'll welcome you to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Thank you. Anytime.
No problem. Superintendent Cressel Threadgill stopping by tonight, and I'm sure hopefully we'll see him again this season. Have yourself a great evening. Fairhope on top 24-6 right now, 5:20 remaining in the first half. Murphy trying to make a dent here, Corey, as they're getting the ball just past the 20 right now. On a second down play, that'll take the Panthers to third down. Don't forget, at halftime, we'll be featuring the bands. Also, we may have an opportunity to speak with Mobile County Public School System Athletic Director Brad Lowell. And, of course, we will have the Chick-fil-A Trivia Challenge. Well, Kimberly Dunn will try to get a lucky fan, and I would say a brave fan, out here in the rain tonight to get them hooked up with a Chick-fil-A prize pack. So stick around for that Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge, and we'll show Murphy and the Fairhope bands as well. So 3rd and 5 here, Corey, as Murphy trying to extend and keep this drive alive, pick up a first down 24-6.
Nice throw right there by Chris Moffitt, and it's just one of those situations that Garrett Hamilton was not able to squeeze the pigskin, and because of it, it's going to bring up a 4th down and 5 yards to go with 4:20 remaining here in the second quarter, and Murphy's going to have to punt the ball away here to this Pirate offense that has already put 24 points on the board in the first half.
Jersey Mike subs bringing by the East tonight. Authentic subs since 1956. Corey, it was nice to have a little warm, somewhat sandwich on. Not too cold tonight, but a kind of different kind of night for the atmosphere. So Jersey Mike's came through for us.
Jersey Mike's a sub above, has 3 locations, 2 here in Mobile, 1 on Airport Boulevard, Dolphin Street, and 1 in Malbis, soon to be in Saraland.
Got to thank Jersey Mike's. Romaine Bradley decides to fair catch that one right at the 40-yard line. Nice punt by Darnell Thomas. So Fairhope's going to take over at their own 40 with 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining here in the first half. In control, 24-6 after that 63-yard pass and catch from Devin Mitchell to Riley Leonard, extended their lead over Murphy. This is a Class 7A Region 1 matchup. Big game tonight here for both teams.
Second region game, as a week ago, the Panthers lost to the Yellow Jackets of McGill, and this Pirate team was able to defeat the MGM Vikings. So neither one of these teams want to get off to another loss in the region.
Hand off to DeMel Bell, and he's dragging a couple Panthers with him. He picks up maybe 5 or 6, pushes it up to about the 45, 46-yard line of Fairhope.
A little under 4 minutes remaining now in this second quarter. Going to be important that this Panther defense finds a way to hold.
Big play right there by Murphy does stop Bell. We're going to call that one a no gain. Bring up 3rd down and about 3. They put the Pirates in a passing situation. Trips to the bottom. They're continuing with the tempo. Tim Carter and the coaching staff not letting up off the accelerator right here.
And this is the biggest play of the game so far for the Panthers. Holding them right here on 3rd down would be huge.
JT Turner in motion. They fake the handoff to Bell. Mitchell trying to connect, just a little toss over the top. And that ball is hauled in by JT Turner. Corey, that's a catch. He had the 1 foot down. Nice toss right there, pitch and catch from Mitchell to Turner.
Look at the way Devin Mitchell is able to extend this play. He's able to get outside of the pocket, but more importantly, look at the soft drip drop touch he puts on the football. And again, I call that putting the biscuit in the basket. And that's a great catch by Jackson Turner, the 6 foot, 170-pound senior who has 2 touchdowns so far in the season for the Pirates.
That was 3rd and 3. The lateral out to Bradley, and he's ducking and dodging into the end zone. Pirates on the board again, 22-yard. Little slight lateral pitch to Bradley, and he does the rest of the work, Corey.
Situation to where he extended the play, and I thought it was a lateral pass, because if we take a look at the replay, it'll show that it was a forward pass, and it's going to be a 22-yard touchdown pass for Devin Mitchell to Ramon Bradley, taking it for 6 for the Pirates.
That's Mitchell's 3rd touchdown pass tonight, and we're just in the first quarter. Rayburn on with the extra point. It is up and it's good. Fairhope on top 31-6 at the 2:51 mark in the second quarter. Let's take it down the sidelines. They Kimberly with Principal Joe Toomey from Murphy right there.
That's right. How are you this evening?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Doing good. So can you tell us a little bit about what's going on at Murphy High School right now?
Sure. You know, we have our IB and UA program. Had a kid make a 36 on the ACT. Our kids that are in UA had a 3.6 GPA, which is higher than the kids at the University of Alabama. So we've just had a fantastic start to the year.
Yes, that sounds great. So I know that y'all have some amazing signature academies that you offer at Murphy. Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Sure. We've added a couple of things. We started a military academy, and we have a culinary that is amazing. We have a full kitchen and a bistro. Our fine arts is the best in Mobile County. You should come to one of our shows. They're amazing.
So what are some of the advantages that parents can have sending their kid to Murphy High School?
Well, we have something for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're into anime or you're into chess. We're going to find something for everybody that comes there.
That's great. Now, I know that you have been able to be a principal at several high schools in Mobile County. So can you tell me about a little bit of the experience that you may have gotten from the other high schools and what you've been able to bring to Murphy High School?
Sure. Every place has its own challenges, but you learn something and glean something from every place that you go. And so, you know, when you have a problem at another place, you want to make sure you don't repeat that. And that's kind of been my MO, is I just try to go to a place and be better than I was at the last place.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for taking your time and speaking with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. 2:51 remaining here in the first half. Fairhope on top 31-6. Corey, I'm with you and our buddy John Vila. We'll all call that a pass. 22-yard pass from Mitchell to Bradley to extend this lead here. And Murphy, ball at the first and 10, ball at the 20-yard line. Definitely need to do something right here positive.
Yeah, 2:51 remaining. You just want to complete some passes, and if you're able to do that slowly and methodically, you just want to get some type of rhythm. You don't want to go into halftime just being totally deflated and defeated, because there's still plenty of football left in front of you if you're the Murphy Panthers.
That pass completed out to DeAndre Bailey. Picks up maybe 4 or 5. They'll take the Panthers to second down. Fairhope won last year's contest between these two, 46-26, and right now on top 31-6. Moffitt looking across the middle, trying to connect with Garrett Hamilton, overthrows him. That'll take the Panthers to third down, 3rd and short.
Very good job right there by Chris Moffitt, standing tall in the pocket and taking the pressure. Was not able to complete that football, but with 3rd down and 5 looming for the Panthers, this is going to be important for them not to punt right back to the Pirates with less than 2 minutes to go here in the half.
Speaking of the half, coming up at halftime, you know what it is, the Chick-fil-A halftime trivia challenge. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get a lucky spectator in the stands hooked up with a Chick-fil-A prize pack. One of the Panthers loses their helmet. Great snap, great grab by Bailey right there. Corey picks up the first down. I believe that may have been Jalen Randall, possibly lost his helmet. I'm sorry, check that.
It's going to be Demiron
Demiron Wheat, number 77, so he'll have to come out the ball game for one play, but great pass from Mitchell to get the first down right there.
That's huge for the Panthers because not only does it give Moffitt a completion, it was a great route ran by DeAndre Bailey. It gives the Panthers a fresh set of downs at 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
1:44 remaining here in the first half. Moffitt across the middle, a bit too high. Thought there may have been some contact. No flags on the play, so that'll take the Panthers to 2nd down.
And you look at this Murphy offense, again, they sputtered out of the gates, but were able to come away with a very important touchdown in the 2nd quarter to give them, late in the 1st quarter to give them some life, only trailing 10-6. But since that first initial score by the Panthers, in that touchdown drive, they were able to put together 3 first downs in a row.
That's right.
That's something they need to do this last minute 29 here of the 2nd quarter.
Over the top again, he's got Hamilton wide open. And he kind of maybe got crossed around as the wrong shoulder there, Corey, and that was 6 all the way if he could have brought it in.
One of those situations to where Garrett Hamilton maybe couldn't find the ball in the lights because he turned around to his right, then shifted direction to his left.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get your balance and to get your bearings when you're turning around like a twisting top as a wide receiver. But that was a good throw by Chris Moffitt. One of those to where there was not a Pirate defender within 10 to 15 yards of him. Even if he makes the catch and falls down, it still puts them in great field position on the Pirates into the field. Now it's back to 3rd and 10 with 1:22 left.
You can definitely see the arm of Moffitt right there as he eludes the tackler. He's going to take it up the middle. Trying to get to the first down marker, needs to get to about the 50-yard line. This one's going to come down to the spot. He may be a bit short, maybe by a yard. Let's take a look at the replay here, see if we can see it.
And as that pocket breaks down, Chris Moffitt does a good job knowing immediately he wants to turn it up and only has 10 yards to go. Is tripped up fighting for those yards and looks like he may be just a yard short of picking up that first down. With the ball being at your own 49-yard line, there's going to be a timeout called by the Panthers, and they're going to talk about what they want to do in this situation. I think that's a very good timeout because
I agree.
Now you have to talk strategy. And Mr. Toomey on the sidelines, the principal's just talked about chess being available if you would like to play chess. This is going to be a game with chess, not checkers, trying to figure out what to do with it on 4th down and 1.
4th and 1, you alluded to it earlier on the one scoring drive that Murphy has had. They gave the ball 3 or 4 times back to back to Braylon Manley. So I wonder if his number is going to get called right here.
I think you go power football in this situation. You have a 6'2", 315-pound left guard and a 6'1", 275-pound right guard that you can run it right behind. If nothing else, get that push back behind your 6', 310-pound senior for the first down.
When you need to know what's happening in Mobile County Public Schools, watch Inside Education with Helena Tyler for all the latest school news and in-depth reports on issues that affect your child right here on the MCPSS TV network. All right, Corey, let's see what the call's going to be. 4th and 1, 1:06 remaining in the first half.
Backup quarterback Alex Howell will be taking this snap, so keep that in mind.
Very good eye there, young man. They do hand off to Manley, and he goes around the left tackle, and he has enough to pick up the first down. A late flag.
It's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct.
Late flag.
And it kind of can go both ways, but it's normally the second player who gets caught on that. Either way it goes, if they call it dead ball on both teams, it will offset because the first down was already picked up. So
right.
I really think that they're going to catch the retaliation on the play.
Referee Rick Johnson with the call right here.
Personal foul on defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run. First down.
So Murphy gets the gift. They'll get 15 on top of the run, and that'll put them squarely into Pirates territory, Corey.
That's huge for the Panthers because, again, they needed to sustain and maintain some type of drive when they took over. Now that there's 58 seconds remaining here in the second quarter, Al, they're going to spread the field out with 4 wide receivers, the big running back, and Howell's going to continue to remain in the game for the Panthers.
Howell's still in the game. I was noticing that. So I wonder if a switch has been made or something okay, but that pass way too deep past the outstretched hands of DeAndre Bailey. As you can see, Howell has a nice arm on him, 5'9", 160 sophomore as well.
And I'm looking on the sidelines. I do see Chris Moffitt on the sidelines with his helmet on,
right.
But that's a nice spiral that is being thrown by Howell. Unfortunately, it's a little too tall for his 6 foot, 175-pound senior wide receiver in Bailey. And now that you're coming up with 2nd down and 10, I like the fact that they did. Offensive coordinator Leslie Nobles took his shot right there, but Breland Manley around the perimeter or bouncing it to the outside is something that they can look to and have success on also.
That incompletion did stop the clock, and Howell is sacked, brought down by the Pirates as they pillage the quarterback. That'll keep the clock running, but there's a flag on the play, a little extracurricular possibly after that play. It'll stop the clock. Let the officials sort it out.
It's in the backfield of Murphy, so you would look in the area of holding is normally where that call is going to be. As Dale Hagan, the defensive end, was able to get in for the sack. As we take a look at the replay, Howell drops back and has pressure immediately, and it looks like Breland Manley is going to get called for either unsportsmanlike or a hold. We'll see what it is. The hold would probably be the lesser of the two. If he gets caught with the unsportsmanlike, it'll cost him 15.
After the play was over, personal foul on the offense, 15 yards from the end of the run. 3rd down.
The camera crew caught it, Corey. It was right in front of Rick Johnson. You couldn't miss it. That last little push by Manley right there, and that pushes the Panthers back 15 yards.
The free 15 that you just received from the Pirates is now negated. So it's going to bring up now, looks like close to a 3rd down and about 40.
3rd and almost a third of the field here. 3rd and 33 is what Ladd is putting up on the board. And we get Moffitt back into the ball game, and he's on the loose, scrambling. It takes a hit out of bounds by Jordan Williams. Does stop the clock with 30 seconds remaining. It'll give Murphy maybe 4th and about 20, Corey.
Positive yards, though, by Chris Moffitt as the pocket collapsed. We've seen that he's a tremendous runner, has great speed. The ball's going to be right at the 44-yard line of the Pirates. Timeout's going to be called by the Panthers.
Panthers are going to use another timeout here. 4th and 22 is what Ladd is calling it. So they're giving Moffitt about an 11-yard credit on that run there. It appears as if he got a bit more to me, but we'll go with 4th and 22. It's still a long way to go right now for the Panthers.
Yeah, it is a long distance to gain, but you were able to have a couple of strikes thrown down the field. Matter of fact, you saw Garrett Hamilton streaking down the field wide open, wasn't able to come away with that catch. You may see them go to him or DeAndre Bailey as offensive coordinator Leslie Nobles is going deep into his offensive playbook at 4th down and 22 yards to go.
College and career ready isn't just a buzzword in Mobile County. Our students earned more than 10,000 nationally recognized career credentials last year, giving them an advantage when moving into the workforce. It starts with us, and it'll be starting shortly. Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge at halftime. Kimberly Dunn's going to try to get someone hooked up with a prize pack, ask them a question, give them that, what we love, the multiple choice answers. Hopefully they'll pick it correctly and they'll get a Chick-fil-A prize pack. Also on tap for halftime, we'll talk to the MCPSS Athletic Director, Brad Lowell. He's going to stop by and give us an update on some things happening in the school system athletic-wise. And we'll take a listen to the visiting Fairhope Marching Pirates and also the Murphy Marching Panthers as well, all coming up at halftime. 25 seconds here, Corey, and it appears as if Murphy's going to go for this. 4th and 25. They've added 3 more yards onto it, so maybe they shorted Moffitt on the run 3 more yards. Doesn't see anyone open, decides to keep it. That is not enough for the 1st down, so he gets close to about the 31 or 32-yard line, so it'll be ball over on downs to the Pirates with 16 seconds left. And I think we probably know what Tim Carter and the Pirates will do right now.
Yeah, leading 31-6 here with 16 seconds remaining in the second quarter, Al. You just take a knee and take it to the half. And I think that Murphy's going to receive the football to start the second half. They're going to kick off.
They're going to kick off.
And Fairhope will receive. So you're just really, if you're the Panthers, how you go into the locker room and come out in the second half, the first 5 minutes are going to be key to how and what type of life you have and are able to produce in the second half.
So Mitchell takes the snaps right there and takes a knee, and the game clock will run on down with Fairhope on top 31-6 right now over Murphy. We've seen Devin Mitchell do it in the air with 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers, Corey, and a field goal also by Sam Rayburn.
Yeah, we talked about at the beginning of the broadcast, Devin Mitchell's ability to extend plays, and he's been able to do that. They were able to get up 10-0. Murphy was able to come back with a great answer, making it 10-6 on a sustained drive, and that's something that Coach Muskegon Barnes really talked about, being able to sustain drives offensively, because this Panther team needed to produce those points in order to give their defense a rest, but then it started to unravel because the Fairhope Pirates were able to extend plays, get Mitchell out in the pocket, and be able to get into that secondary and started having its way offensively passing the ball, and here we are at 31-6 at halftime.
All right, let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in with Kimberly Dunn right now.
Coach Carter, how do you feel about your team's performance so far tonight?
You know, I thought it was pretty sound. We took advantage of a couple of Murphy mistakes, and we were able to move the ball. Made a couple big plays. I wasn't real happy with all our offensive drives, and they had a successful drive down the field to kind of tighten it up there at one point. But anyway, other than that, I think our kids played hard.
So what does your team need to improve on coming into the second half?
A little bit cleaner. You know, I just thought we didn't look. We made big plays to get us out of some jams offensively, and then defensively just get off the field. Too many plays for them offensively. So.
All right, Coach, I'll let you get to your team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you, Kimberly. Coach Carter talking about keeping it clean, a couple of those unsportsmanlike against the Pirates tonight.
And that's something that he wants to emphasize at halftime, and he's already been able to score the amount of points because they came in averaging 31.5 points per game for an entire game and over a 2-game season, and here they are, they have 31 points at halftime. The Panthers are going to go back and get themselves mentally together. They'll come out in the second half a different team.
All right, it is halftime. Fairhope on top 31-6. We'll be back with the band. Plus, we're going to talk to MCPSS Athletic Director Brad Lowell and the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Come back and join us on the other side. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goals.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit mcpss.com.
As Alabama's first and largest school system, Mobile County Public Schools prides itself
on the high quality of education we provide our students.
We have been successful over the years in raising our graduation rates
and have been recognized nationally for closing achievement gaps.
We believe that our primary focus is to educate all students to become productive citizens.
This is our commitment to them and to you.
It's halftime for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Let's take it down to the field right now and listen to the sounds of the visiting Fairhope Marching Pirates.
I could say.
What do you need with Cam's water?
I'm gonna find my unsuspecting.
my 5. 5 is up.
He was flying, just flapping his wings.
Yes. Leon's there's their kid. 1, 2, 2. 2 is up.
How much you lady taking a selfie?
No, she's about to say I can.
Okay.
Brian asked Kim to, we need her mic for the band.
Excuse me. Hi. Would y'all like to be on camera and answer questions? Some Chick-fil-A goodies.
Sounds of the Fairhope Marching Buccaneer Band. Maybe had some audio difficulties right there, but we're going to bring it up here to the booth. Right now joining me, MCPSS Athletic Director Brad Lowell. How you doing this evening, Brad?
I'm doing well. I appreciate it.
Good to see you. We had you at the top of the season here for LaFleur and Rain, and now you're back. But also you want to give some information out to the viewers, also parents as well, about some things taking place with middle school football in the week, dealing with, I guess, the after effects or the effects of Tropical Storm Gordon this week.
Yeah, first I want to thank the MCPSS TV crew for what you guys do.
No problem.
You and Corey do a great job being the voices of Mobile County Schools, and of
Thank
course
you.
everyone that works with the crew in the back scenes, and Kimberly, and I appreciate what you guys do.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, you know, when you have this kind of weather that comes through, and it's really unpredictable a lot of times, especially when you get into August and September. Football season's kind of in high gear at that point.
Okay.
And a lot of times when these tropical storms come in, there's a lot of uncertainty to them, and so you don't know just how strong they're going to be. A lot of times you just kind of have to roll with it, and
Yeah.
what we have to make sure though is the safety of our student athletes, our coaches, our teachers, our faculty. That's the first and foremost. Whenever we assess throughout the week, once the storm leaves, we try to find out, obviously, what we can do. The coaches are already antsy about getting back out there to practice and play, but still, you have to assess things and get them out there when it's safe to do so.
Okay.
And so for this week, for example, we had to end up canceling the middle school football games because they pretty much missed the entire week of practice.
Okay, gotcha.
And, we didn't want to send those kids out there to play a game on Thursday when they haven't even touched the field since the week before. And so little things like that you have to readjust your schedule with. Volleyball, middle schools, they started up. We've had to reschedule those games too for this week coming in, and they'll start up next week. Of course, some of the football teams throughout the area had to miss practice on Tuesday. Luckily, some of them were able to get back out yesterday afternoon.
Good.
And of course, Murphy had a short week playing on a Thursday night.
That's right.
Whereas most teams, have one extra day to get prepared for Friday.
And we had the holiday Monday as well.
That's right.
School
and
being out for
Day.
Labor Day.
That's
Right. So the games this week that were postponed from middle school, will they be made up next week, or how's that going to handle with the schedule?
Yeah, we want those kids and those schools to be able to maximize the number of games that they play each year. So we definitely, most of them are actually going to make it up Monday. They're able to get out to practice today. They'll practice tomorrow. They'll be able to play Monday, and then we'll pick right up where they left off on Thursday also on their regular schedule.
All right, we're talking with Mobile County Public School System Athletic Director Brad Lowell. Some of you may not know it out there in our viewership, but Mr. Lowell used to be a coach as well. So I'm going to ask you to put your coaching hat on right now. Say if you were in the locker room, what were some of the things you would talk to those Panthers about? We're down 31-6. What would you kind of do to get them motivated back here in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that the first half didn't go in the manner that they wished. But at halftime, you just, if you're Murphy, you have to find a positive to come out, and there's still a half of football to play.
True.
And as we all know, football, anything can happen. But the most important thing is you want to emphasize your kids to play hard. They're playing for pride. But first of all, they got to play one play at a time.
Okay.
And they got to win each and every play. And again, you want to look at and be positive and come out and basically, in a nutshell, start a new game.
Yep.
Put that half away, and it's a new half, a new game.
All right, all right. There it is. Mobile County Public School System, Brad Lowell, giving us some information, also some insight into some of the coaches' mindset that could possibly be going on in the locker room right now. So we appreciate you stopping by and talking
Sure.
with us. You know,
Thanks,
just like
Al.
Superintendent Threadgill, you're always welcome to stop by, Brad.
Absolutely. Thanks
Anytime.
again for what you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, stick with us. We're going to have Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Also, more looks at the bands as well with Fairhope and Murphy right here on the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
Hello, my name is Abby Dinkins. My children go to E.R. Dixon Elementary School. The education that my kids are getting, it's tremendous. There's one time that I thought about homeschooling my kids because I wasn't sure, we're new here. And when I enroll my children at the public school, and I'm just blown away because the teachers are nice, the curriculum itself is different. I believe in Mobile County Public School education for preparing my children for life.
To be inside of the advanced placement program means that you are a student whose primary goal is to go to college. And being in the advanced placement makes that so much more real for those students who are inside of it.
I feel that students shouldn't be scared to go into being an AP scholar because it's not how smart you are and it's not like your GPA, it's how much work you put into your classes and how much you are dedicated to your classes.
It is halftime here at the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week, and it's now time for the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. Let's take it down to Kimberly Dunn in the stands.
I'm here with some very special guests to participate in this week's Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. And our participant tonight is none other than the Murphy Cheerleaders. Hi, Murphy Cheerleaders. Hi. All right, and specifically we have Tyresha, who is a senior at Murphy. She's going to be answering our question. She wants to attend South when she graduates and major in chemistry, but specifically like pre-pharmacy, is that right?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so are you ready for this question?
Yes, I am.
Okay, good. And it's multiple choice, so she has several opportunities to answer, and she will get this wonderful prize pack that was donated by none other than Chick-fil-A, and we also have some Mobile County Public School System goodies in there as well. Okay, here's your question. If a person melts 50 grams of ice in 150 grams of water, how much water will they end up with, okay? So they have 150 grams of water, and they melt 50 grams of ice into it. Will they get 17 grams? Will they get 200 grams, 250 grams, or 0 grams?
200 grams.
All right, that's right. 200 grams of water. Yeah. She had some help from her cheerleader friends. Great job. You might can share some of that Chick-fil-A goodies with them. Yes, smart girls here from Murphy High School. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Winners were at the Chick-fil-A Halftime Trivia Challenge. It is halftime here at Lab People Stadium. Don't move. We'll be back with more action. Fairhope on top, 31-6 for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
I'm Tracy Tran, and I'm in the Healthcare and Dental Academy at Theodore High School. In the Dental Academy, I'm working alongside dental professionals getting hands-on training from those already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job makes me want to work even harder because now I know what I want to be.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. To find out more, visit mcpss.com.
When parents are involved in school, they get more of this and less of this.
We're live in the booth right here at the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Fairhope on top 31-6 over Murphy. Corey, let's take a review of your checklist. We started off the game talking about what both teams needed to do. Let's review that right now for Murphy and maybe what's reviewing in the locker room for the Panthers with Muskegon Barnes and this crew.
Yeah, it was going to be very important for Murphy to produce pigskin points. They came in after 2 games only averaging 5 points per game, and here at halftime they have 6 points. They needed to prevent the Panther penalties, and we've seen some unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. We've seen some early offside penalties by the Panthers, so where they've not really been able to prevent them at key times, and they needed to sink the captain of the ship. And that captain of the ship for the Fairhope Pirates was quarterback Devin Mitchell. We've seen him be able to extend the plays. That's something that Coach Muskegon Barnes wanted to make sure of, that they weren't able to extend plays, and they got the type of pressure in his face, but he's been able to be successful with his feet throwing the football and extending those plays that have led to probably close to 20 of the Fairhope Pirates' 31 points so far.
Now, the flip side of it, Fairhope coming in right now, you had some items on the checklist for them, and so far they're checking off a few things. They're up 31-6 right now.
Yeah, they needed to weather that storm, and the storm that was coming was one in which they knew that they had a short week of practice. You talked about it just moments ago. Both teams from Mobile and Baldwin counties had a short week of practice, but only 2 teams had a Thursday night game, and that because of that, they've been able to weather the storm. Murphy was able to cut the deficit 10-6, and after that, it's been all Pirates. Also taking care of the football. We've seen the Pirates not turn it over, and that's something that's led them to this 31-6 halftime lead over the Murphy Panthers. And they also needed to pounce on the Panthers, make sure they wrapped up the ball carrier. The touchdown drive that the Panthers were able to get, in which they scored 6 points, we didn't see the Fairhope Pirates tackle that well. So that's something that Coach Tim Carter is talking about to his team at halftime, making sure, guys, we have great gang tackling and we pounce on the Panthers here in the second half.
All right, as we saw that Braylon Manley ran the ball back to back to back. They did not wrap up. So right now it's Fairhope on top 31-6. We'll be back with second half action headed your way shortly. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I believe my child's school is probably one of the best ones I could have picked in Mobile. She's in the PACE program. The teachers are phenomenal. The principal, couldn't ask for a better principal. The research that I had done myself, I believe the quality of education in Mobile County Public School System is excellent. For me and my child, I'm gonna stick with the public school system. I think it's the way to go.
Hello, I'm Helena Tyler. I would like to invite you to join me for Inside Education. Come with us as we take a look at what's happening around Mobile County Public Schools, as well as what's happening in your child's classroom. That's Inside Education, right here on the MCPSS TV network.
I think it's a good idea for students to enroll in this program because it offers a sort of new way to learn. It feels like in AP classes, you're actually expected to learn and apply yourself and apply the knowledge as well. It helped me to learn how to work harder. It's helped me learn my limits as a student. It sort of helped me to be more confident in myself as well as a student in my abilities.
October is Parent and Family Engagement Month, and Mobile County Public Schools is sending out an invitation to you. Join us Monday, October 15th at your child's school, and you can pick up report cards as you meet and greet your child's teacher. There will also be parenting workshops to provide resources and materials for students' success. Because when families, communities, and schools work together, students succeed. So mark your calendar, October 15th for our Parent and Family Engagement Day.
Hi, I'm Todd.
And I'm Terry, and we'd like to invite you to join us as we take a look at nature in ways that you've never seen before.
Come travel with us as we go coast to coast to uncover some of the most interesting animals.
And some of the most beautiful scenery that's offered outdoors.
You can join us on our nature adventures right here on the MCPSS TV network.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Kimberly Dunn has Muskegon Barnes with her on the sideline. Unfortunately, having some audio problems right now with Kimberly Dunn's microphone with Coach Barnes right there, Corey. But I wonder what he's probably telling her right now, coming out of the locker room.
You know, again, you just put the first half behind you. You go out and play the next 24 minutes like it's your last because, again, this is a huge region game. You don't want to go 0-2 in this region. You look at the stats for Murphy at halftime. Chris Moffitt, 5 out of 10 for 62 yards with that 1 touchdown. You also have Breland Manley, 7 rushes for 37 yards. And the second rusher, the leading rusher was the quarterback, Moffitt, 7 rushes for 41 yards. Receiving, DeAndre Bailey had 3 receptions for 42 yards. And on the flip side of that, for the Fairhope Pirates, Devin Mitchell, 6 out of 8 for 162 yards. You also had Michael Colbaclave, 4 receptions for 36 yards. Also, a big touchdown catch by Riley Leonard. He had 2 receptions for 96 yards in that big touchdown,
right,
which now leads us to 31-6, our halftime score. But again, if you're Muskegon Barnes and you're the Murphy Panthers, you throw that first half away because there's still a half of football left to be played. You're hoping the Pirates get overconfident and don't come in focused the way that Coach Carter wanted them to be, and you take advantage of that.
Yeah, Mitchell on the board with 4 touchdowns tonight. It's unreal between him and DeMel Bell. Seems like the offense seems to click when they're both on the field at the same time, and then they bring in Koklisher, and then he does his thing as well for the Pirates. It's almost like a 1-2 punch, similar to what we saw last week with Devontae Washington and Jimmy Haywood for the Theodore Bobcats.
You know Michael Colclaser is that big bruising fullback / tailback.
Right.
Has, again, 4 rushes for 36 yards. But what a relief when you can give that type of backup to a DeMel Bell or your other rusher, which is your quarterback, Devin Mitchell. Hasn't had to run a lot with his feet outside of the pocket because he's been throwing dimes. I mean, 6 out of 8 so far for 162 yards. That's key.
Oh, yeah, it sure is. So it's interesting first half we've seen tonight. Fairhope scoring 31 points. Most times that will be an entire ball game for some teams, putting up 31 points. We talked about they're averaging pretty much 31 coming into the ball game. So we have a second half to go, but it's all uphill for Murphy. We know they only average 5 points on offense. They have 6 right now, but they have an uphill battle, but they can get it done. It takes 4 quarters to complete a ball game. And right now, let's take it down to the sidelines. Check in once again with Kimberly Dunn.
Hey guys, earlier we had a little bit of interference with the mic, but I was talking with Coach Barnes and I was getting a feel from him of what it was like in the locker room. And he said, you know, the atmosphere, it just wasn't really good. They didn't really have high spirits, but he had to talk to these guys and say, hey, we're entering a whole nother half. We can still come back from this. We have just got to play hard. We've got to have fewer mistakes. We've got to overcome whatever it is that is blocking us in order to win this football game. And so really he said he just motivated his team to accomplish that, and the only way that they're going to pull out the win tonight is if they change that attitude and if they get a little momentum behind them.
Thank you, Kim. We do appreciate that. Sorry about the audio difficulties, but great note-taking and listening to Coach Muskegon Barnes as he tries to motivate his team and get them going. Fairhope back to receive the ball here in the second half. So up 31-6, Corey, and right now receiving the ball Not looking too good for the Panthers starting off the third quarter. This offense has been clicking all night for Fairhope.
Yeah, it's a situation where the Panther defense is going to have to rise up here immediately. And you know, defensive coordinator John Lambert has told his guys that it's going to start right here. We're going to have a stop, and Fairhope's going to take this kickoff from the 10-yard line.
Bradley brings the ball up to about the 40. He's moving and actually tackled by Darnell Thomas, who did the kickoff right there. So great field position for the Pirates to start off the second half. Speaking of the coaches, we've said their names a lot tonight. Let's take a look at the coaches comparison here. Coach Tim Carter, he's the head coach of Fairhope in his 4th year. Made the playoffs once since he's been here, 0-1. Also spent a lot of time up there as Auburn as their head coach. He was there 9 years, lost in the 2013 championship game to Hoover. So he's familiar with being in the playoffs, just only making it one time down here in 7A Region 1. And Coach Muskegon Barnes in his 2nd year, as you can see, played college football for Coach Nick Saban when he was over at LSU, Corey.
Yeah, he said he learned a lot from Coach Saban, just his bulldog mentality and his relentless work ethic, never to give up and to always grind. Coach Carter at the Baldwin County Media Days had an all-time saying that I really do like. He said the road to success is always under construction.
Wow.
And that's a situation and a quote that Murphy can take and utilize here in the second half. That's and right. Get their offense back on path. And it's under construction in the first half, but it doesn't mean that it can't be completed.
2nd and 13 right here for the Pirates. Mitchell looking to pitch it off, but he keeps it on RPO and fumbles. Look at there, Corey, fumble. DeMel Bell tries to fall on it, and he does. As you just mentioned, that saying right there from Coach Tim Carter maybe could motivate the Panthers. That was an opportunity right there. They could not land on the pigskin, though.
And that's important for the Panthers to have something productive. As you look at Mitchell rolls out, and it's a design option. He decides to go ahead and does not take the ball and tuck it away. And because he's so loose with the football, the pigskin squirts out. And luckily for the Pirates, DeMel Bell is able to jump on top of that football. It's going to bring up close to 3rd down and 32 or 31 yards to go.
I am a bit surprised at the senior right there. I know it's on him to make the read as if he's going to pitch it or keep it. But, and speaking of that, Corey, now that's a forward pass. That's incomplete. That is not a lateral. And back-to-back blunders for the Pirates, and that takes them to 4th down right now.
Just lack of focus coming out of the locker room by the Fairhope Pirates, and that's something that I know Tim Carter wanted to stay away from. He wanted his team to stay sharp, and he's not going to be happy, and neither is offensive coordinator Duff Duffy on that particular offensive series. Now the Panthers are going to have an opportunity to take over in pretty good field position, but when you have a punter or a specialist like Sam Rayburn, the 5'8", 182-pound junior who came from Tallahassee, Florida,
right,
it's always a bonus because he's able to flip the field.
And you can look at him trying to kick that one, and he shanks that one, Corey. Wow, unbelievable. That ball going backwards, and the assistant coaches from Murphy all clapping. Let's see where the official's going to spot it. He's still walking. Looks like maybe the Murphy 42, 43-yard line. So that ball nowhere near Darnell Thomas. He had set up on the 10-yard line expecting a big booming kick from Rayburn, and Rayburn shanks it almost like a driver off the number 10 tee over there at Spring Hill.
You got the type of stop that you really wanted if you're the Panther defense. Now offensively, you want Chris Moffitt. We've seen his electric speed, and we've seen him so far with the good arm also. If he continues to get that good center to quarterback exchange on the snap, I think this Murphy Panther team will be in good shape.
Faking the little screen right there, and he decides to keep it. Moffitt's still on his feet, fighting for yards, trying to get close to the midfield stripe as they tackled him close to out of bounds there, Corey. Don't see any flags coming in.
Looks like it's going to bring up probably a 2nd down and 6 yards to go, but positive yards on 1st down. That's important for Chris Moffitt and what he's able to establish.
Right now, Murphy definitely needs to get some continuous positivity on the series. No 3 and outs right here. Try to get themselves back in the ball game. Down 31-6 to Fairhope right now. Big region contest right here. 7A Region 1. Later on, we'll get standings up. Also, we'll take a look at the Alabama Sports Writers State Polls of the Week as we get into the 3rd and 4th quarters. Mitchell does connect, gets that one out to Christian Sellers. He picks up a couple, maybe about a yard short of the first down marker.
But again, positive yards, you get a completion, that gives your quarterback a little bit of confidence throwing the football. Looks like it's going to be 3rd down and 2 as we take a look at this replay. Just a little quick 2-step drop to his wide receiver on the wide side of the field, and he's able to pick up a couple. 3rd down and 2 yards to go from the Pirate 49-yard line.
Just past the midfield stripe. 8:16, the clock moving here in the 3rd quarter. Pirates stack the line. Mitchell decides not to pitch it. He keeps it. And Corey, I think that may be a gain of 1 or no gain. Let's see where they mark this at, but they are short of the first down marker.
I think they're going to give him 1 yard. Dale Hagan from his defensive end position makes the stop. 6'1", 190-pound senior on the play. 4th down and 1 yard to go. Again, you talked about the average size of the Murphy Panther offensive line being right at 281, but anytime you're in the shotgun 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it's important that you get that push up front.
All right, here it is, 4th and 1. Pirates trying to get the first down. They do pick it up. That ball across the midfield stripe and into Pirate territory. Theris Wheeler with the run there. So the Panthers move the chains. Ball's going to be placed right about the 41 or maybe 39-yard line of Fairhope. So big first down right there for Murphy.
And you look at the new running back in the game for the Panthers, Theris Wheeler, 5'7", 150-pound sophomore now, giving Breland Manley a little breather on the sidelines.
Wheeler with the fresh legs once again up the middle. They'll give him credit by 2 or 3.
And I'm looking on the sidelines right now, and Breland Manley is on the sidelines, does not have his helmet on. He's on the bench area, and that's going to be critical because that's your leading rusher for the Panthers. And even though he doesn't have a helmet on his head, that means there's some type of injury or something he's sustained to where he's not able to get back in the contest.
Looks like his leg may be propped up on the bench there, Corey. No one attending to him right now. He's kind of sitting off alone by himself. So Wheeler taking over the running back duties right there. Moffitt fakes the pitch off. He keeps it. Picks up maybe 1 or 2. It'll be 3rd down for Murphy.
Another 3rd down and short situation for the Murphy Panthers. They just were able to convert moments ago. And again, if you get that big push by that big offensive line, you have Devontae Wheat, Demyron Wheat, Jalen Randall, Jordan Valerie, and Carlos Wheat. It's important for them to go ahead and blow that Pirate defensive line off of the ball because you're 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. You need that offensive push. Then Moffitt, once he gets to the outside, he's able to break containment with the speed.
Ladd is calling it 3rd and 2 right now. The Pirates jumble the line. They hand it off to Wheeler. He busted up the middle into the red zone. And that play backfires for the Fairhope defense. Wheeler picks up a big hunk of yards. No flags on the play, and that's going to take us to our heat timeout at 5:26 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. And we're going to take it down to the sidelines, check in once again with Kimberly Dunn.
That's right, guys. You were just talking about some of the injuries that were sustained here from these Murphy Panthers. And we have number 1, number 27, and number 96 all sitting on the sidelines, all with ankle injuries. And I know for a fact that number 1 and number 96 will not be entering the game for the rest of the night. Number 1, he had an injury, sustained the injury last week. It was an ankle injury, and then tonight re-injured it, and it swole up, and he's in a lot of pain. I know right before the half he was kind of rocking back and forth trying to get that pain under control, but I know that those 2 will not be coming back in. I'll have to get a little bit more update about number 27.
Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah, she's talking about Tim Sanders. We saw him limping off the field right there, Corey. And unfortunately, the young man won't be coming back. While we have a break, we're going to try to get up the 7A region polls if we can, or the 7A poll. players are coming back on the field, so maybe after this play we'll take a look at that as well. So unfortunate about the injuries from Murphy. Not looking good right now for the Panthers.
Yeah, it's a situation to where we mentioned earlier, Fairhope had 5 guys go down in week 1 versus Wetumpka. 2 season-ending injuries. Hopefully it's not that severe for this Panther program. As Breland Manley, we wish him the best, as well as Timothy Sanders. But what a big drive right here for the Panthers program, because you're sitting here down 31-6. You've converted several first downs. You want to continue to move the ball.
Getting it across the middle and does connect with his receiver. So we'll take a look right now at the 7A Top 10 poll brought to you by the Alabama Sports Writers Association. On top right there, Thompson and Hoover kind of did the flip-flop. Hoover played a team out of the state and took that loss. Thompson was down in Foley last week and pitched a shutout down there. Talia Tagovailoa, I believe the quarterback, Tua's younger brother, put on a nice showing. So these two will meet tomorrow night, Corey. That's a big battle in 7A for the state. And as you can see, McGill-Tulin still ranked there in 7A as well. So big matchup tomorrow night with Thompson and Hoover.
Yeah, the number 1 versus number 2. You couldn't ask for a better matchup.
Take it over to 6A, Spanish Fort and Saraland sitting locally right there at number 5 and number 6. That number 1 team, Wetumpka, that's who Fairhope lost to in week 1 this year. So as well, so they're right up top. Daphne picking up a couple votes, Baldwin County picking up a couple votes, and also St. Paul's as well. These are all 6A Region 1 teams, and tomorrow Baldwin County and St. Paul's will meet. That is St. Paul's first region game as well, Corey.
That's going to be big. Moving up from 5A to 6A, they're going on the road to Baldwin County.
3rd and 2 for the Panthers. Need to get this complete. Incomplete, tipped at the line. And it brings a 4th down and 2 for the Murphy Panthers. Decision time. Let's take a look at the 5A poll. Viger off last week, still sitting solid at number 3. Jackson at number 7. Also picking up a couple votes locally. Satsuma, new coach Ray Nelson, 2-0. They're picking up a couple votes, as well as the Citronelle Wildcats. We're going to have them next week right here at Ladd Stadium, taking on the floor for a 5A Region 1 matchup. And lastly, the 4A poll, UMS right, no surprise, they're still on top, defending state champion as well. Williamson picking up a couple more votes scored, picking up 6 votes to try to make the poll as well. Had that win over LaFleur last week, 4A team over a 5A team. So 4th and 2, Murphy going for it. And Moffitt completely wrapped up by those Pirates, plundering and pillaging the Panthers right here. And they will take over on downs.
Just the pocket collapsed very quickly. Didn't have any time at all to throw that football. He would have had to have a Johnny Manziel or Tua Tagovailoa spin move to get out of that collapsing pocket. Just wasn't able to do so.
There's Tim King there.
And Tim King, you know, one of the starting plugs for this Murphy defense is on. He's a starting defensive end, 6'1", 210-pound senior, as well as we mentioned earlier that Timothy Sanders was going out of the game. So defensive casualties for the Panthers as they're having to start to go deep in their depth chart defensively also.
Fairhope with the run on that play right there. It'll take them to 2nd down. Cochleshire in the backfield with Devin Mitchell. Mitchell has been lighting it up tonight. 4 touchdowns through the air so far. A big 63-yarder to Riley Leonard in the 2nd quarter. Got your game of the week brainbuster coming your way, so don't move. We'll try to test your trivia action, brain action there, Corey. See if you can get one tonight. We'll bring that to you shortly, so stick around for the game of the week brainbuster headed your way. Mitchell rolling out, looking for a receiver. He's got plenty of time, and he does connect with Jackson Turner. JT Turner picks up the 1st down just past the 40-yard line. We'll mark it about the 43-44.
And you look at the time that he had to throw that football, just entirely too much time, not much of a pass rush. It's going to be enough for a huge 1st down for the Pirates.
All right, Corey, here's your game of the week brainbuster. Fairhope and Murphy have met 7 times in the playoffs. What was unique about each game? Give you a moment to think about that. We'll give you the answer later on. There's your game of the week brainbuster. 1st and 10, ball on the 43-yard line. DeMel Bell still out of the ball game. Cochleshire back there in the backfield. Mitchell just running that play clock almost down to 0. Hooks up with Bradley. Look at him moving outside the numbers. Corey, he's got room. He's got space. He's on the move. Close to the red zone. Brought down at about the maybe 22, 23-yard lines. And the Pirates are just headed toward the pot of gold, trying to hit the end zone once again.
You look at the replay, and he just drops back and throws that to his wide receiver who does all the work for him, Ramon Bradley, and he's just tripped up by Karan Marion. And if it's not for Marion making that shoestring tackle, it would have been 6 more points for the Fairhope Pirates, and we do have an injury on the field.
On the far side near the 40-yard line, looks like there's a Murphy Panther down on the field. We'll try to get a number on him. You can see Muskegon Barnes right there with the rest of the training staff taking a look at the young man. 2:08 remaining here in the third quarter. Looks like possibly number 45, Corey, I believe. Trying to get the exact number right there.
Jalen Williams. Jalen Williams for Murphy. He's the linebacker at 6 foot, 215 pound sophomore, being tended to.
All right, hopefully we'll get him back on his feet, back to the sidelines. We'll take a quick break, come back with more action. It's the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week.
I think it's a good idea for students to enroll in this program because it offers a sort of new way to learn. It feels like in AP classes, you're actually expected to learn and apply yourself and apply the knowledge as well. Helped me to learn how to work harder. It's helped me learn my limits as a student. It's sort of helped me to be more confident in myself as well as a student in my abilities.
Welcome back to the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. You can see right there Jalen Williams walking off the field on his own power, so that's always a good sign right there. Corey, the young man, is up and able to walk off the field.
Yeah, you definitely want to see that. And it brings up 2nd down and 10 yards to go for the Fairhope Pirates from close to their own 20-yard line, right outside the 20-yard line, right at the 23, as a matter of fact, of the Murphy Panthers. And they just want to probably bleed this clock with 2:08 remaining here in the third quarter. They would love to put 6 more points on the board and get that type of separation. And it looks like they're going to go with their formation to where he's able to pass the ball.
Little screen right there to J.T. Turner. Bryson Martin had checked into the game in the backfield. Screen picks up a couple yards, takes it to about the 20-yard line. So about 2nd and 5, maybe 2nd and 6 for the Pirates here.
You look at the replay, just a drop back, like you called it, a screen play to the wide receiver and Jackson Turner. And what they really wanted to do was pick up 1 more block from the wide receiver and to spring him so he would be able to get into the open field. But it is going to bring up a 2nd down and 6 yards to go for the Pirates.
Call like that, similar to a run play, very high percentage play, just dumps it right to him. And Corey, most importantly, keeps the clock moving for Fairhope, being up 31-6. No need to rush things. Looked like some movement right there, possibly against the Pirates. Let's see what Rick Johnson's going to say.
Prior to the snap, ball start. Offense, 5 yards. Replay 2nd down.
So that'll push the Pirates back 5 yards, make it 2nd and 11.
And you brought up a great point. You really haven't seen DeMel Bell that much here in the second half.
No, sir.
And you don't know whether that's by coach's choice. Maybe 1 series, 1 carry here in the second half, and that's all you've seen from DeMel Bell. But as we continue to go with 1 minute remaining here in the third quarter, our score hasn't changed from halftime, 31-6.
Mitchell showing that senior leadership, taking his time. Play clock right now hits 10 seconds. Koklischer in the backfield with him. You can kind of sense maybe a run, but no, he tosses it out to Bradley. Incomplete, stops the clock. Maybe a bit too high for the fingertips for Bradley there.
Curtis Hill in coverage for the Murphy Panthers, the 6 foot, 150 pound junior in great position on that particular play by the Pirates. Going to bring up a 4th down.
No, it's 3rd down.
Excuse me, a 3rd down and 11 situation. But the Pirates, they have a reliable field goal kicker. So Sam Rayburn, even if they're not able to convert right here, he's still been Johnny on the spot. Attempted a 54-yarder earlier this year, came up a little bit short.
Mitchell takes the snap, surveys the field, does have a man across the middle and connects. Gets that one to Bradley. sorry, let's check that. Andre Doucette, number 8. No, that is Bradley. Number change on that. So went to him incomplete and comes back to him right there in the middle on the post pattern there. And he hauls it in, Corey.
Curtis Hill, the defender on the play, and you look at the height differential. Curtis Hill was listed at 6 foot, and also the great catch by Ramon Bradley. Bradley's listed as the shorter receiver, but it's going to be turn around and be a touchdown for the Pirates.
Direct snap to Braxton Jordan, who runs it in from 1 yard out. And Fairhope continues to stay in control tonight, up 37-6 right now.
And that was all Pirates on that particular drive. You just can tell the Murphy defense being able to push the ball down the field and not being able to come away with any points or turn the ball over.
Yeah, that hurt there.
It really did. It's kind of deflating, and when you keep your defense on the field for that long and at the tempo that Fairhope's looking to go, it's tough.
Rayburn on for the point after, and it's good. Fairhope extends the lead 38-6. 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Fairhope all in control of this ball game. All right, Corey, we put the question out there earlier. Let's see if you can come up with this one here. The game of the week, brain buster. Fairhope and Murphy have met 7 times in the playoffs. What was unique about each game? Would you like to render a guess there, young man?
There was only 1 touchdown scored.
As one of my former colleagues would say, wrong answer. We'll get the guys in the truck to reveal it. The home team won each contest. So Murphy has won 5 times and Fairhope has won twice when they've met in the playoffs. And we know back in the day, as we like to say it, locally, they would, not locally, but the state would have the local teams kind of pit heads, go head to head rather than going with the other regions throughout the state. So 7 times they've met in the playoffs, but each time only the home team won.
Home field advantage. There's no place like home, and that's a situation that has proved to be true in this rivalry.
You're right about that, Corey. 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter as we get ready to approach the last quarter. Rayburn has been booming them all night into the end zone. Only one came up short where we've had a return from the Panthers. Let's see where he places this one. Right into the end zones. Typically, we'll see the Jaguars moniker right there. They have it green tonight, so Rayburn bounces another one. So it's a touchback for the Panthers. They'll take the ball right here at the 20.
And here's an interesting statistic for Murphy offensively. They're 0-21 when scoring less than 10 points since 2000.
Wow.
So the last 18 years, you look at them being 0-21 when scoring less than 10 points, and that just speaks volumes. They're stuck on 6 tonight with 10 seconds remaining here in the third quarter.
Moffitt comes out. Has Tavares Jackson in the backfield with him. He's trying to connect, go deep, but he decides to make it short, and that pass incomplete. Couldn't haul it in. Shawan Manuel.
And it hit him right in his hands. As you can tell, he was probably looking to run before he caught the football. Good check down on the play by Chris Moffitt. Wanted to go deep and take that big strike, but it wasn't there. So he checked down to his wide receiver who ran a shorter route and just wasn't able to come away with it.
All right, that's the end of 3. We have 1 more to go. Come back and join us for the fourth quarter. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Fairhope on top, 38-6.
At Mobile County Public Schools, we believe it starts with us. That's why we offer Signature Academies.
Hello, I'm Jordan Clark, and I'm in the Health Service Academy at John L. LaFleur Magnet High School. My future career is to be an obstetrician-gynecologist. With this academy, I'm learning firsthand from people already working in the industry. Shadowing them on the job really makes me want to study hard and work harder towards my career goal.
Signature Academies are open to all students in Mobile County Public High Schools. Visit mcpss.com.
As Alabama's first and largest school system, Mobile County Public Schools prides itself on the high quality of education we provide our students.
We have been successful over the years in raising our graduation rates.
and have been recognized nationally for closing achievement gaps.
We believe that our primary focus is to educate all students to become productive citizens.
This is our commitment to them and to you.
We welcome you to fourth quarter action here for the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Pass completed to DeAndre Bailey to start off the fourth quarter here for the Panthers.
The only scoring that we did have there in the third quarter was the touchdown drive by the Fairhope Pirates. Our halftime score was 31-6 in favor of Fairhope. Fairhope was able to add 7 points that quarter. Murphy made a nice drive, but it kind of stalled out. You would like to see him score more points here this quarter just to have a little momentum going into next week, as next week they have a huge game, another region game coming up.
Moffitt wrapped up and sacked on that play. One of the Panthers loses his helmet, and he's actually on the field a little upset. Demyron Wheat, that's the second time he's lost his helmet tonight, Corey, so he'll have to come out for one play, I believe.
And our stats guy, John Vella, has done an outstanding job in his dual role tonight for AL.com as well as streaming for us. That next game for the Murphy Panthers will be against the MGM Vikings right here at Ladd Peoples Stadium.
MGM 1-1 on the season, led by new head coach Stan McCain. So that should be an interesting matchup as well. Panthers on fourth down, so they're going to punt this one away. Darnell Thomas back to punt. Looked like it was tipped, but don't believe it was. They didn't say so. See where the official's going to mark this ball at. On the roll, gets it to about the 37, 38-yard line of Fairhope.
And anytime you can get the ball to roll end over end, you'll be happy about that, and it'll make the Pirates go a little bit further.
Yeah,
it looks like they're going to be at the 42 line.
Right. They brought it up a bit further. So 42-yard line of Fairhope. They'll take possession right here, 1st and 10. With Bryson Martin in the backfield along with Devin Mitchell. Now, Corey, 38-6. Riley Leonard is the backup quarterback. Mitchell is thrown for 4 touchdowns. Game pretty much seems to be in control. Are you surprised they haven't made a switch on the QB yet?
You just want him to get game reps, good game reps. And this will be a situation that this will probably be his last series as the starting quarterback. But it's so very important, especially off of this first and work week, the short work week that everybody was dealing with because of Tropical Storm Gordon.
Right.
You look at these Fairhope Pirates. Next week they play the Theodore Bobcats. And that's going to be a big region game in and of itself as far as trying to jostle and seed yourself for playoff positioning.
Mitchell decides to keep this one himself. Goes up the middle, kind of rumbles, bumbles, stumbles forward just past the midfield stripe. Well, they'll mark it back at the Pirates 49. So it'll be 3rd and about 3. Want to send special thanks and shout outs to our folk over there at Jersey Mike's providing us with the eats once again this evening. Awesome job they did on preparing the meal for us, Corey. Nothing better than the sub above with Jersey Mike's.
Mark and Christina Sinclair available at 3 locations, 2 right here in Mobile, Alabama on Airport Boulevard and Dolphin Street, as well as 1 in Malbus, another one coming to the Saraland Public Shopping Center soon.
Mitchell with the handoff to Martin, but it looks like a pre-snap penalty right there. Flag comes in, possibly a false start against Fairhope. We'll see what Rick Johnson has to say here.
False start. 3rd down.
So that'll push the Pirates back 5 yards. It was 3rd and 4, so that'll make about 3rd and 9. I'm sorry, 3rd and 9.
This Fairhope Pirate team lost 4 out of their starting 5 offensive linemen from a year ago. So they also had 2 injured linebackers for the year in week 1. So far, you asked about Devin Mitchell. Again, I believe this will be his last series after these valuable reps that he's gaining.
Mitchell looking to air it out. 3rd and long. Does have a man in the flat and does connect. He gets that out to DeAndre Matthews, and that's enough to get the 1st down, Corey, because the sticks are on the move.
Dre Matthews, the 5'7", 180-pound sophomore, able to come away with his first catch of the night, if I'm not mistaken. And
I believe so.
You know, you look at Fairhope being 11 and 19 all-time versus Murphy. This will be their 12th win if they're able to salt it away these last 8 minutes here in the fourth quarter.
And not very often has Fairhope come over to Mobile to play Murphy. The majority of the time, Murphy has gone to Fairhope to play them. So it is an interesting rivalry, if you want to call it there.
And you like the fact that Fairhope's trying to bleed all the time off of the game clock, and they're going to call timeout to avoid the penalty.
And Tim Carter calls a timeout right here at 7:59 remaining in the fourth quarter. Thanks to our folks over at Future Ones for taking care of us with the apparel tonight and all season long. Corey, the Future One has come in handy. The non-wicking material here, I feel absolutely great. I'm glad I had it on because with the temperature dropping a bit, it was a bit cold in here tonight, so the Future One still kept us warm tonight.
Future Ones, wear the future. They have all your athletic and game day apparel. It's available. You can contact them at futureones.com. That'll be Trent Massey and Gus Smith. Future Ones, wear the future.
All right, let's take a look at the 7A Region 1 standings right now. We had the polls up earlier, so we'll take a look at what's happening locally right here. Primarily affecting these two teams that we talked about, it this being a region game. So McGill, Davidson, Fairhope, Theodore are all picking up region wins. Foley sitting at 0-2, yet to have a region contest. They'll have one this week coming up. MGM, Baker, Bryan, and Murphy, they're 0-1, but also, Corey, notice of the 0-1s in region, only one of them has one win, and that's MGM, Stan McCain, and the Vikings out there on the west side. So this game tonight definitely has some early season ramifications. Riley Leonard takes over for quarterback, as you predicted, probably Mitchell's last series. So a win tonight for Fairhope kind of gives some breathing room, but a loss puts the pressure on the Panthers because we haven't seen very often a team go to the playoffs in 7A Region 1 at 4-4. When you do make it, it's one of those coin flips, or I beat you and you beat them, so I can get, you know, one of those crazies where you get in. So a win tonight by Murphy would have kind of taken the pressure off.
And we've seen Riley Leonard already catch a touchdown pass tonight, the 6'2", 175-pound sophomore. Not only plays wide receiver, but he's the backup quarterback. He's a multi-sport athlete.
Hands that one off to Martin. He's met at the line by one of the Panthers, picks up maybe one or two. So 7:09 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Smart move probably by the Fairhope coaching staff. Let the young man behind Mitchell get some reps now.
Karan Marion with the tackle, the middle linebacker who had an injury earlier is now feeling better, and you're happy to see him back out on the field making a tackle.
3rd and 6. Leonard dumps it out. Gets it out. DeAndre Matthews picks up his second reception of the night. Right now we'll take a look at the Fairhope Pirates' remaining schedule. So if things hold as they are right now, they will move to 2-0 in the region. That's a region win against Mary Montgomery right there, even though its region is 0-1. But next week, that'll be a big contest against Theodore. They'll have that one over in Fairhope. They'll try to pop that cannon a few times there, Corey. Then the following week, they'll come back to Ladd right here against Davidson and then take on Daphne. So if you look at their remaining schedule, pretty tough schedule right there for the Pirates for the rest of the season.
Good job of the wide receiver just sitting down in open coverage. Making the catch on the play was Clayton Connick, the 5'10", 172-pound senior on the play, and that was just pitch and catch for quarterback Riley Leonard. No pressure really applied, and the Fairhope Pirates definitely moved the chains on that play.
Picks up another first down. So Leonard coming in and picking up some valuable reps here as the backup for Devin Mitchell. Hands off to Martin. He goes nowhere. Let's take a look at the remaining schedule for the Murphy Panthers. We talked about the importance of this game early on in the season. Murphy right now 0-1 in the region. A loss tonight will push them to 0-2. And you and Brother John Velo over there talking about next week. They have MGM, but probably, I'm going to say, Corey, most importantly, they're going to have a bye to maybe kind of get things together in the middle of the season right there.
No easy wins are available for any region team across the board. You don't want to look ahead. You don't want to take advantage of an opponent. You want to respect all your opponents. But Murphy just has to come out and just regroup, and you're right. That bye probably can't come at a better time for the Panthers.
Not come at a better time. Martin with the little pitch from Leonard there. Doesn't gain very much, but most importantly, he keeps the clock moving. And apparently we have a stoppage here.
Maybe a heat timeout.
That is correct. So it's a first dead ball under 6 minutes, 5:12 remaining here in the contest. So we're going to have a heat timeout, but that's not a problem. You can join Homeroom with Renee Phillips and find out the latest homework tips and what's happening inside the schools and classrooms. It's Homeroom with Renee Phillips right here on the MCPSS TV network. So Corey, 5:12 remaining. Fairhope on top 38-6 all over the Panthers tonight. What do you have to say from what you're seeing so far?
Well, it's just been a situation to where the Panthers have kind of been their own worst enemy. You give 6 points to the Pirates early off of a turnover, and that's never going to help you. But you go down 10-6, you answer it, and that's a good situation. But if you're Muskegon Barnes, you don't want to see any quitting your kids.
Let's take it down to the sidelines, check in with Kimberly Dunn, see what she has going on.
Hey guys, I just wanted to give you a little bit of insight as to kind of the atmosphere here on the Murphy sidelines. I feel like these guys just really, they weren't able to get that momentum coming out of the second half. So they're just kind of feeling a little bit defeated, and so they're kind of just going play by play until I feel like this clock runs out, because they've got a lot of injuries over here. Several of their players sitting out, not able to come back in from the game. So they're really feeling the impact of that and the hurt from that, because these guys maybe helped keep that momentum up, and the more injuries that you get and the more things that happen, it just kind of helps push that stuff down, and so they just weren't able to get that momentum back up to finish this game tonight. So it looks like these Fairhope Pirates are going to come out on top.
Thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate that. Yeah, I know some of the teammates going down on injury can somewhat deflate you there and take you out of it, especially some of your key guys losing
starters.
both the Tims on defense right there, back to back. I mean, on the same play.
Yeah, that's big time for the Murphy Panthers. And you look at the Fairhope offense, or the Fairhope team in general, as we look at this call.
Defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
So Braxton Turk knocked the ball away, but also they are flagged for pass interference as well, Corey.
Fairhope comes away with 27 seniors, and really 2 were injured for the season and are not able to play anymore. But Tim Carter just wants to see the execution of this Pirate team as they go even deeper to the bench, as Cole Barnett now takes over at quarterback, as they didn't want to get Riley Leonard, a starting wide receiver and backup quarterback, injured. Cole Barnett is 5'8", 140-pound sophomore, now calling the shots as there's going to be an injured Murphy Panther down on the field.
That handoff went to Wendell Parker, first time calling his name tonight for the Pirates. And another injury, you're right about that, Corey. So we've seen a multitude of Murphy Panthers going down tonight. So something's really going on here.
And the Encore training staff has been very busy tonight. And you're in a situation to where you play another huge region game next week. You don't want to see these injuries piling up.
We'll be back. We're going to take a break. Give you more of the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. Don't move.
As a student in the Mobile County Public Schools, there are a few things I've come to expect. One is a quality education, and the other is a quality lunch. Not only are our school meals well balanced, meeting all federal nutritional standards, but they also have less fat, fewer calories, and they taste really good. Oh, and I forgot to mention, our school lunches contain whole wheat, grains, fruits, and vegetables to give me the energy and brain power to get me through the day.
We're back live at Lad People Stadium. Al Whedon, Corey LeBounty, Kimberly Dunn. You're watching the MCPSS High School Football Game of the Week. 2nd and 5 for the Fairhope Pirates, as they have went deep into the depth chart, bringing in players, getting them valuable reps here, Corey. Getting them all game experience. Klein Tucker with that call, with that play right there for the Pirates, maybe gets 1 yard, but he's pushed back.
Good stop on the play.
I'm sorry, Tucker Klein. Had it backwards, Corey. Tucker Klein on the carry.
Trent Craig on the stop. for the Murphy Panthers, and Fairhope still going tempo, trying to get accomplished what they would like to. It looks like they quickly get to the line of scrimmage and now are going to bleed the play clock all the way down to with under 5 seconds.
Hand off to Klein once again, trying to make his way toward the 5-yard line. It was 3rd and 8. Pirates can pick up a first down right here without having to score the touchdown. So it's going to be 4th and short, maybe 4th and about 2. And I'm pretty sure they'll be going on this one just to pretty much just use the clock. No need to kick a field goal here to add more points to it.
And head coach Tim Carter, when he was coaching at Auburn, coached 2 dynamic Alabama football players who are now in the NFL, Reuben Foster and Rashawn Evans. And when he talks to his guys about what it takes to make it on the next level, he just wants to emphasize the toughness and the way these young men persevere throughout not only their high school career but their college career. But how would you like, it's hard enough to be a high school coach and to coach 1 NFL player.
Right.
Nonetheless, to coach 2, Reuben Foster and Rashawn Evans, both now doing their thing in the NFL.
Wendell Parker moving the line. Let's see if he has enough forward progress to make it to the first down stick. And next week, speaking of progress, we'll move forward. We'll be back here at Last People Stadium. As you saw the bug right there, we go live at 6:55. It's Citronelle on the floor. That'll be a big 5A Region 1 matchup here next Thursday at Last Stadium, Corey.
Big region matchup. All these games that are every single week that are region matchups that have a star next to it. You know how important it is with 2:15 now here remaining in the 4th quarter. Fairhope maybe possibly looking to put even more points on the board.
1st and goal. Hand off to Parker once again. Necessarily no need to make it worse, but you got to keep in mind, a lot of people say, well, maybe they're running up the score, but for a lot of these kids, Corey, they may not get an opportunity to score. They're so far deep down in the depth chart, so they get the ball, they want to utilize and show their ability as well. So that's why other people say you have defense, you got to stop them. So not that they're trying to run the score up here. 2nd and goal for the Pirates. Less than 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. Going to go to Klein on that carry as he just runs up the middle and a couple of the Panthers wrap him up.
And that Panther interior defensive line just trying to prevent Fairhope from having any type of push or scoring any more points. And the game clock's down to 1:15. They're going to have to and be able to run a couple of more plays. And if you're the Murphy Panther defense, you want to go ahead and be able to hang your hat off, stopping them right here and putting any more points on the board.
That's right, 3rd and goal. Klein once again with the carry, still keeping those legs moving. And the Panthers are pushing him back, not allowing him to get into the end zone.
Good stop by Curtis Hill on the play. The 6 foot, 150-pound junior shows that he's a little bit stronger than the offensive player and able to wrap him up and sling him to the turf.
Playing with that Panther pride. 4th and goal here for Fairhope. Pretty much looking like it'll be their last possession of the ball game. Barnett letting the play clock run down along with the game clock as well. Play clock under 10 seconds right now. And does the sportsmanship thing and takes a knee, Corey. So that'll give the ball over on downs to the Panthers. No need to try to punch it in or anything right there. And there's the Buccaneer band playing the fight song for the Pirates as they pretty much have since they've captured this victory tonight. 18 seconds remaining in the ball game. Quite an interesting ball game, Corey. The majority of the scoring in the first half, only 1 touchdown in the 3rd quarter, 1-yard run by Braxton Jordan.
And in that situation, Murphy at least was able to produce some type of points. They didn't come away with the donut. We know through the first couple of games, they've only averaged 5 points per game, but it was very important for them to have some type of offensive confidence, and they were able to get 6 points on the board, losing tonight by a final score of 38-6.
So 18 seconds remaining here for the Panthers, taking probably the last snap of the night as the game clock will, for the most part, run out No flags on the play, so that will be the last play of the ball game as Tim Carter and the Pirates get the victory tonight, moving their record to 2-1 over Murphy, score 38-6, Corey. So as we were just talking about, interesting, all the scoring pretty much taking place in the first half except for that one touchdown. But Murphy did hold them scoreless in the fourth quarter. They can take some pride on that. Had an opportunity to punch one in, but they couldn't do it in the third quarter.
Yeah, only outscored 7-0 in the second half. So if you're going to hang your hat on something, if you're the Murphy Panthers, it's the ability that we can't shoot ourselves in the foot early. We can't afford to go down early. Very similar script for these Murphy Panthers in all three games. It was a close game against Baldwin County to begin the season. Week number 2 against the McGill-Tooling Yellow Jackets, it was 10-3 late in the fourth quarter. And now here in this situation, you were trailing 10-6, and all of a sudden things started snowballing against the Murphy Panthers. But no quit in this Panther team in the second half. I know they'll go back to the board. They'll regroup. They'll get ready for their next opponent, MGM, next week.
All right, it was a short week, which also means both of these teams will get an extra day of rest and an extra day of practice with them playing on Thursday. So that could work out to the benefit for the Panthers as they take on the MGM Vikings next week. Let's take it down to the sidelines. To the field. Kimberly Dunn with winning coach Tim Carter.
How do you feel about your team's performance in tonight's game?
You know, it wasn't perfect, but I'm really proud of them. I thought they played hard, and we came out and we kind of jumped on them. Murphy made the mistake. We got points. You know, they fought back a little bit in the second quarter, but we were able to put it away in the second half. So I'm real proud of my kids. Thought we had some big plays tonight, and that was good. And we had some third and longs, but we seemed to convert them. So I was proud of all of our efforts. I thought we played well in special teams too.
Yes. So what does this region win mean for you and your team?
Well, it means we're 2-0, you know, and I mean there's a lot of work to be done, and we've got 4 or 5 killers in a row coming up. I mean, we've got Theodore next week at our place, and they play great football. Coach Collier's got them playing hard. So, you know, we got to go there and we got to play well against them and just try to survive it, you know. Theodore, Davidson, Baker. I mean, you go down the list, and we got McGill sitting out and Alma Bryan at the end. So, you know, you got a 9-team region, you got to win a lot of ball games. So, but I'm proud of our kids. You know, we're young and very inexperienced, and they played some headsy football tonight.
Yes, well, congratulations again, Coach.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you, Kimberly. Coach Carter just talked about it. Corey kind of got a murderer's row right there. 2 wins in the region doesn't give you the region title.
Yeah, that's a big win for them. I know it's one game at a time, and that's the mentality they took. They were able to weather that storm tonight. They were able to get out of here healthy because, again, in week number 1 against Wetumpka, they lost 5 starters alone. Unfortunately for the Murphy Panthers, the injury bug did bite them tonight. Hopefully we'll see those guys back in action next week when they take on MGM.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us right here at Lab People Stadium. Fairhope gets the win, 38-6 for Coralie Bounty. Kimberly Dunn on the sidelines. Quentin Howard in the truck along with the entire MCPSS production crew. I'm Al Wheaton, thanking you for joining us for another ball game tonight. Next week, we return to Ladd. Matter of fact, next Thursday, it's LaFleur and Citronelle for your next MCPSS high school football game of the week. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.